Recording in progress. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Ashley Atwood. I am Emmy-nominated actress and producer and the director of the Desert Playhouse. So thank you all for being a part of this. It's our fifth table read, and people have been having a lot of fun with them. I've got several returning actors here that have been in several of the table reads and keep coming back, which I love. So thank you for that. Um, and this is the Desert Playhouse Presents Series. The reason this was created was for us to be able to study scripts together as a community. It's important as for us as actors to be reading scripts, all different types of scripts, so that when we do get them in our inboxes, the joyous day, we can know how to break them down very quickly. We know when we're being pitched a script, is it a good script? Do I need to fill lots of things in as a writer? As an actor, or is the writing like exquisite and I don't need to change a thing, right? All of those kinds of things we need to kind of learn by absorbing tons of different scripts. And I thought, what better way than to get a community of actors together and do little micro performances and just have fun studying different roles and having and doing mock auditions and just preparing our career as robustly as possible. So that's why we have the Desert Playhouse Presents series. And we're doing Love Actually, as you all know, by Richard Curtis, which is one of my favorite Christmas movies. And I picked it because there were so many parts. And then I instantly regretted it because there were so many parts. This was probably the hardest that I had to cast because there was so many roles to fill. And if there are no shows today, it's going to be very difficult to fill all of those little one-liners in. But we'll have fun anyway. Some other classes that we have. I have Monday nights, I have an audition practice. You guys, this is only $25. So come in, pop in on a Monday night, and it's a live audition practice. Unlike doing a million takes with a self-tape, sometimes on callbacks and producer sessions, you only get that one shot. So let's practice getting in front of people, preparing your audition, giving it to me. I'll give you some feedback. You'll have to take feedback in the room and regurgitate it right away. And so practice doing that. A lot of you have never really been in a room when you're doing auditions. I remember that very, very, I kind of miss it a little bit, but we need to practice. We need to be practicing doing that as well. So that's what Monday nights, the Level Up Live is. Come join us, $25. It's not a monthly commitment. It's when you're available, but we definitely need to start filling those rooms up. Then the Talent Launch Bootcamp is the other one. Okay. And this one is only held once a year, and I only accept 20 actors per year. Okay. It starts in May. It's an 8-week program. For 7 of those weeks, we talk about headshot characters and characters that you really want to play on film and television, and we develop those headshots for you. Then I produce 2 micro short films for you. Remember, I'm an Emmy-nominated producer. It is not a POS that you will get. Okay, they're two micro short films that you star in. I pick a script for you. I hire a soundstage, I hire a crew, I hire camera equipment, and a professional actor to be across from you. We work on wardrobe, we work on props, we do all of the whole shebang for you. And that takes place in the first 7 weeks. In the 8th week, we go to LA and we shoot those 2 short films. Okay. So at the end of this process, you're going to have 2 headshot looks shot by Bonnie Poirier Photography and 2 1-minute demos, one comedy, one drama that you can use to start making sure that you're getting the auditions that you deserve. Okay. Then you get a half-hour sesh, one-on-one strategy session with the talent manager to kind of talk about where you are in your career, what's the next thing that you need to do, looking at your casting profiles, make sure they're set up correctly, and all of that kind of good stuff. So it's a great opportunity for you, those of you that don't have the marketing materials. It's something that we have a lot of fun doing while working our little tails off to get those movies made. But we'd love for you to join us if you are interested in that. Just let me know. Okay? Awesome. Well, we have some special guests in the house. First, I want to introduce Stephanie Massman with the Parameter Group. She is my talent manager, and she likes to scout Desert Playhouse students all the time. So she's always got her head peeked in. Stephanie, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. I'm Stephanie Massman, and this is so exciting. Anybody who ever gets the opportunity, I think, to work with Ashley is really lucky. Anyway, I'm based in LA, and anybody that Ashley recommends to me, I really do take seriously because she has such a good eye for talent. And I can't stay this whole time. I'm going to only be on here for maybe 30 minutes or so, but I'm gonna watch it afterwards because there are a couple of spots on my roster still for the new year. And also, I just want to say that if you really don't have awesome headshots and an awesome demo reel and all of that, it really, really makes a difference. And so if you don't have these things, definitely talk to Ashley about the boot camp. The one last year was such a success and it was great. And so I do highly, highly have to say I recommend it very
Mhm.
much.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. If make sure everybody's muted if you are not talking right now so that we can make sure everybody's hearing. We're still missing quite a handful of people, but I want to introduce my next special guest, Sadie Katz. Sadie is a dear friend of mine. We met in the festival circuit for my first film that I produced, and she was touring her documentary, Bill Murray Experience. But she has just been featured on the cover of Filmmaker Life magazine, which is really very, very, very exciting. I'm just going to read their little snippet as a bio for Sadie. She is known for her fearless spirit in horror and indie cinema. Sadie isn't just an actress, she's a powerhouse writer, producer, and documentarian. With her production company, See You Next Tuesday Films, Sadie brings gritty, female-centered stories to life, breaking boundaries and challenging the norms. So everybody welcome Sadie Katz. She's going to be reading for Karen. Hi, Sadie. You want to introduce yourself and say something?
Thanks for having me. I'm like what is not on my bio is an English accent. So
It's okay. It's not required.
this, and you guys are in good hands with Ashley because she is brilliant and the real deal. I'd be insanely jealous of her, except she's also really cool. So I love her to pieces, and she's a hard worker. And I'm excited to work with you guys and play with you guys. The script's like a giant thing, but
Yes.
it's beautiful. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Sadie. Welcome. So glad to have you join us. And then last thing I want to do before we get started here is mention the audition review. So if you audition for a talent launch boot camp, no, excuse me, if you audition for a Presents Series table read, you get a free half-hour audition review. We never get feedback on our auditions, right? So take advantage of this, even if it's just the free one, so you can see what's going on and what your audition, how your auditions are perceived, I guess is the best answer. If you've already used your free one, it's only $25 to sit with it for another half hour with me. One-on-one, we go beat by beat, and going over those auditions and how we can improve what you're excelling at and what can be improved on. Who here has already done their review or a review with me? Awesome. Does anybody want to say a few words about their experience doing their audition review? You can just unmute and start talking.
Well,
Yeah,
Whoop.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
okay, thank you. I just had mine this past week and just want to say it was very helpful. And yeah, exactly like you said, we never get that feedback. It feels like we send these self-tapes out into the ether. So to have someone sit and watch it with you is great. And also, I just came in with a lot of just business related questions that Ashley really took a lot of time to answer to, and I really appreciated that.
Nice. Thank you, Caroline. Anybody else?
Yeah, hi, it's Michael Hall. I was just going to say mine is scheduled, so I'm looking forward to reviewing the audition with you, Ashley.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to it. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Well, I have several roles to recast here, you guys. Um, because we're after 10 minutes and I can't guarantee that they're going to show up. So let me start with an easy one. The role of Michael is Sarah's brother. He has a couple of scenes. Um, Isaac, do you mind reading him? You're muted, sweetheart.
Yes, sure.
Your guy, okay, yeah, he's in the scenes with some scenes with Sarah. I think there's only 2 or 3 scenes. They're short. Okay. Thank you. So we're gonna do Isaac here. Um, okay. Beautiful woman, we've got Sadie reading. Nicole. Chantal, will you read Nicole?
Sure thing.
Okay, she's in a scene with Daniel kind of towards the end while they're all at that thing.
Okay.
And she's like supposed to be Nicole Kidman, right?
Okay.
And then a famous girl, let's do where's some ladies? Brianna Taylor, where are you?
Right here.
Brianna, will you read famous girl? What are your other roles before I do that? Brianna Taylor.
Yes. So
Yeah, you're
I
good. Yeah, read for me, please. Incredibly famous girl. She's one of the girls that Colin talks to in the bar in America.
I
Okay.
would love
Incredibly famous girl. Okay, so that's done. Krishan has, oh my gosh, she's got 4 parts. Alan, do you mind throwing some new ones in?
And no problem at all for me.
Okay, can you do Fry and Taxi Driver?
Right. And taxi driver.
Fry is one of the cabinet members. Fry and Taxi Driver, I'm not really sure where. I think he's at the end when Joanna's
Okay.
away, I think.
I can flip it and
I think that's
check it
where
out.
he is. Then I need Priest and Old Man.
I could be an old man.
Let's see. Isaac, I have Michael. Sorry, you guys. This is something I hate doing, but it is what it is. Kavin, do Priest and Old Man, okay?
Priest and old man. Okay. Priest, old man. Yes.
Okay, Mike was here, and then Stacy. I've got 4 more that I need to cast, you guys. Karen is beautiful woman. Qua'Deer, B. Carter for me. Is that
Okay.
okay? He's
Yeah,
one of
that's
the cabinet members. Okay. Let's see. Quintella, you're here, huh?
Yes, I'm
You're
here.
here. Can you got another one for me?
Sure. What did you need me to?
Can you be old lady? Oh, no, not old lady. Sorry, mom. Mom.
Mom? Okay.
Mom. I don't know which mom she is, but she's a mom. Okay, we'll find her in there.
Okay.
Then I need 2 more. 2 more ladies. Lenza, are you here?
Yes.
You're here. Can
Yes.
you read Head Mistress?
Okay.
She's an older lady, so you're gonna have to put your old lady voice on, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Then I need 1 more lady. What is there another lady that I haven't thrown a roll to that wants another one?
I have Gina. It's Michaela. I have Gina and Startlingly Famous Girl and Dad. So I didn't know if you wanted
Yeah,
to throw.
that's great. Let's give you Eleanor. Who was that?
Oh, it's Michaela.
Michaela. Okay,
Michaela
Michaela.
Hall. Yeah. Eleanor. Okay.
Yep, you're gonna do Eleanor, and she's the lady that Jamie meets at his French house. She introduces Aurelia.
Okay, perfect.
At the French house, she introduces. Okay, so I think that is all of the recast. Thank you all for jumping in last minute to grab some of those roles. Are y'all ready to go? Awesome. I've got my alarm set for 7:30 to take a quick 5-minute pee break. So just know that that is going to happen. Other than that, let's get started. I have a lot to read. Quick drink of water. Let's read Love Actually by Richard Curtis. Interior Heathrow arrivals gate day, a voiceover in the darkness.
Whenever I get gloomy with the state of the world, I think about the arrival gate at Heathrow Airport.
And we start to see this, a stylish but real documentary as possible. The most miscellaneous of groups and couples at the arrival gate, all kissing, all full of affection and emotion.
General opinion starting to make out that we live in a world of hatred and greed. But I don't see that. Seems to me that love is everywhere. Often it's not particularly dignified or newsworthy, but it's always there. Fathers and sons, mothers and daughters, husbands and wives, friends and strangers. When the plane hit the Twin Towers, as far as I know, none of the phone calls were from people about to die, were messages of hate and revenge. They were all messages of love. If you look for it, I've actually got a nasty suspicion you'll find that love actually is all around.
Interior church day. Cut 2 men's faces, well dressed up in wedding ties and coats.
No surprises?
No surprises.
Pull back, they are best man and groom, waiting at the end of an aisle. The church is sunny and full.
Not like the stag night.
Unlike the stag night.
Do you admit that the Brazilian prostitutes were a mistake?
I do.
I mean, it would have been much better if they turned out to be men, not turned out to be men.
That is true.
The music starts up. Pachelbel's canon and enter a really lovely, optimistic girl in her wedding dress. This is Juliet.
Good luck, kiddo.
He picks up his video and starts discreetly film the proceedings. It's one of those where you can view through a screen rather than holding it to your eye. As the bride walks up the aisle, a sweet, slightly chaotic 30-year-old called Sarah sneaks in just behind her. Switching off and putting away her mobile phone, she sits down next to a friend called Jamie, 38, good-looking, and good-natured. The bride goes on walking, exchanging a blissful smile with her husband-to-be. We cut through moments of the wedding service. Fingers, rings, kiss, Bibles, signing of the registry. It's now the end of the service, and they're back in front of the altar.
And you resisted the temptation for any surprises.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm mature now.
Now, bride and groom turn and head down the aisle. The organ strikes up a traditional church exit song. Then it changes and starts to play something that sounds suspiciously like La Marseillaise. Peter looks a bit surprised, turns to look at Mark, who looks innocent. As the music changes, a curtain that has been hiding in the contents of the balcony drops. Behind it is a 100-strong choir, and they begin to sing.
Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love.
The choir then parts to reveal a fabulous-looking singer standing at a microphone, singing All You Need Is Love.
Nothing you can do that can be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. All you need is love.
They are now joined during the chorus magically from all over the church by a huge brass section, 20 trumpets, 20 saxophones, etc. They actually appear in the pews where they've been hiding their instruments till now.
All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need.
The bride, Juliet, is radiant, adoring it.
Did you do this?
Christ, no.
Husband Peter looks at the best man, Mark. Mark shrugs his shoulders, pretending he had absolutely no idea this was going to happen. Then a little smile. Exterior church day. They open the door from the church. Wind machines blow 5,000 rose petals through the sky. A man is playing lead guitar, standing on a gravestone. They are the happiest, laughingest couple in the world. Title card says, November, London. Exterior London day. Some beautiful shots of the city in its winter glory. Interior church day. Cut to a funeral. A man and his 11-year-old stepson in a church with a crowd of 80 behind them dressed in black.
And now Daniel wished to say one last thing.
Daniel gets up and faces the guests. Behind him, a simple slide projector screen shows a portrait of his wife.
And you know, Joe and I had a lot of time to prepare for this moment. Some of her requests, for instance, that I should bring Nicole Kidman along as my date to the funeral. I'm confident she expected me to ignore. But others she was pretty damn clear about. When she first mentioned what's about to happen, I said, over my dead body. And she said, no, Danny, over mine. And as usual, my darling girl and Sam's darling mum was right, 100%. She was going to say her final farewell to you, not through me, but inevitably, ever so coolly, through the immortal genius of the Bay City Rollers.
Through the speakers whams the Bay City Rollers' atrocious cover version. The projector screen shows terrible shots of the Rollers in their heyday, more shots of Joe, and then settles on an utterly gleeful 12-year-old girl, clearly Joe, totally decked in the scarf, badges, and hats of Roller Mania. Monique.
Sorry, I didn't have that song. I totally missed that one. Do you want me to just say the words?
Nope, well, I'll just skip it because I don't.
Okay.
The congregation are torn between the smiles of the song and stills and the real sadness of it all. More titles. Interior Jamie's house, day. Jamie, who we glimpsed at the wedding, comes back into a house. He has a slight, touching mid-sentence stutter. He unlocks the door to the large living room. At that moment, another slightly younger man enters the room through an internal door.
Hello. What the hell are you doing here?
Oh, I just popped over to borrow some old CDs.
Did the lady of the house let you in?
Yeah.
Lovely, obliging girl. I just thought I'd pop back before the reception, see if she was feeling better. Look, I was thinking that maybe we should take Mom out for her birthday on Friday. What do you think? I feel like we've been bad sons this year.
Okay, that sounds fine. Bit boring, but fine.
There's a call from offstage.
Put the kettle on, will you, darling?
Raising his eyebrows.
I'm a slave to love.
He starts to do so, then continues to do so, sort of in slow motion as he talks on.
This is a bit odd, actually. My girlfriend doesn't know I'm here, and she calls you Chris, not darling, unless she calls you darling when I'm not here. In which case, the reason you're here is probably less to do with borrowing, let's say, an old Paul Simon album and more to do with, let's say, you having sex with my girlfriend when I'm out.
Jamie, what can I say?
Well, you could say it's not true. I am here because I have a passionate craving for the music of Art Garfunkel's best friend.
Forget the tea, babe. I've located a packet of 3. If you get a move on, we can finish them off by the time old Pencil Dick comes home.
On the other hand, maybe you couldn't honestly say that.
More titles. Exterior London Streets, day. Cut to the PM's car moving along the embankment with bike riders. Cut to the car driving up Whitehall. Exterior Downing Street, day. Cut to the outside of 10 Downing Street. Huge noise, press, and people. Out of the car comes a new prime minister. He waves, huge cheer. In his 40s, he's an attractive man. He enters. The door closes behind him. Interior 10 Downing Street. Entrance hall, inner lobby, day. Suddenly, bizarre silence and formality inside in comparison to the chaos outside. There to greet him is his personal advisor, 40, a woman, Annie, strong and intelligent looking. His demeanor immediately changes. He deformalizes.
Welcome, Prime Minister.
That sounds so bizarre.
How are you feeling?
Dazed and confused.
Would you like to meet the household staff?
Yes, anything to put off actually running the country.
Cut on, he goes along a line of employees.
This is Terrence.
Good morning, sir.
I had an uncle called Terrence. Hated him. Think he was a pervert. Like the look of you, though.
Good morning, sir. I'm Pat, the housekeeper.
Hello, Pat. Should be a lot easier with me than the last lot. No nappies, no teenagers, no scary wife.
And this is Natalie. She's new, like you.
Hello, Natalie.
Hello, David. I mean, sir. Oh, shit. I can't believe I just said that. Oh, no. Now I've gone and said shit. Twice. I'm so sorry, sir.
That's fine. You could have said fuck, and then we'd all be in real trouble.
Thank you, sir. I did have an awful premonition I was going to buck up on my first. Oh, piss it.
He laughs. She blushes hugely. A beautiful, lovely, young, bright-faced girl. He looks at her. Something's happening.
Right. I'll go get my things and then let's fix the country, shall we?
Can't see why not.
As he walks away, he just casually looks back over his shoulder. Natalie is one of the things he looks back on. Interior PM's office, 10 Downing Street, day. PM enters and closes the door and suddenly pins himself back against the door, like a man being pursued by the police.
Oh, no. Oh, Jesus. Bugger. This is genuinely bad timing.
Interior reception hall night. It's the reception of the All You Need Is Love wedding. Later that night, the newlyweds are dancing to a slightly dodgy-aired band. The best man, Mark, is filming them. Near him is Sarah, still talking on her mobile phone. A perky waiter in a messy black tie approaches him. He's called Colin.
Delicious delicacies.
No thanks.
Colin heads to Sarah.
Taste explosion.
Totally uncharmed, she just shakes her head. Colin heads off discouraged, sees another pretty girl by the door to the kitchen.
Food.
No, thanks.
Yeah, bit dodgy, isn't it? Looks like a alien's finger. Ugh, tastes like it. Tastes like it too. I'm Colin, by the way.
I'm Nancy.
How do you fit here? Bridegroom, vizier, bit on the side.
No, I did the food.
Groovy. Yes.
He's got a canapé.
Second time's the glory of it. Just hits you right between the eyes.
He clips through the doors into the kitchen. Interior reception kitchen night. Colin sits down next to another quite geeky guide called Tony, a friend who's just come along for the ride. He wears normal clothes.
Alas, I've worked out why I can never find true love.
Why is that?
It's not me, it's the English girls. They're stuck up, you see? I'm primarily attracted to girls who are, cooler, game for a laugh, like American girls. So I should go to America. I'd get a girlfriend there yet, instantly. What do you think?
I think it's crap, Colin. People are the same the world over. Wherever you go, you'll still be dull and ugly, and girls still will hate you.
No, that's where you're wrong. American girls will seriously dig my cute British accent.
But you don't have a cute British accent.
Yes, I do. I'm going to America.
Don't act on this whim, Colin. You're a lonely, ugly arsehole, and you must accept it.
Never. I'm Colin, god of sex. Just on the wrong continent, that's it.
He winks at a passing waitress. She totally freezes him out. They both think it proves their point.
See?
Interior reception hall night. Cut to the newlyweds dancing to a horribly performed classic tune. The band isn't the best in the world. Mark is filming them. Sarah, the phone girl, comes and sits next to him. She watches him curiously, then gently.
Do you love him?
Sorry? Who? What?
No. I just thought I'd ask the blunt question. It was the right one, and you need to talk to someone about it, and no one's ever asked you, and so you've never been able to talk about it, even though you might have wanted to.
No. No. No is the answer. No. Absolutely not.
So that's a no, then.
Yes. No.
Little pause. He returns to filming.
Man. What do you reckon is worse in history?
Probably. I think it hangs on this next song. What will they go for?
Cut to the lead singer.
And here's one for the lovers. That's quite a lot of you. I shouldn't be surprised. And a half.
Cut round a bunch of happy couples. Famous intro plays.
They've done it. It's official.
Worst band in the world.
I feel it in my fingers.
Sorry, interior recording studio day. Cut to a recording studio. A wonderful looking, battered 50-year-old ex-giant of a rock star is singing in a little black booth. Three noisy backing singers are really going for it in the studio outside.
I feel it in my toes. Love is all around me. And so the feeling.
Joe is his manager in the control room with the engineer. Joe is unprepossessing, woolly, chubby, moist, in his 40s.
I'm afraid you did it again, Bill.
Did I?
Yep. Sorry, mate.
It's just I know the old version so well, you know.
Well, we all do, which is why we're doing the new version.
Right. Okay, let's go.
The intro strikes up again.
I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. Love is all. Fuck! Wank bugger shitting arse head in a hole. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. Christmas is all around me.
Cut to Joe, deeply pleased.
And so the feeling grows. It's written in the wind. It's written everywhere I go. So if you really love Christmas, come on and let it snow. This is a shit, isn't it?
Yep. Solid gold shit, maestro.
Joe gives him a big smile and thumbs up. He's sitting next to the sound engineer, reading a newspaper with a picture of the PM on the front.
Think the Prime Minister's a poof?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The full pink trousers.
Interior PM's office, 10 Downing Street, day. A few days later, the PM's study again. He's dealing with his 60-year-old secretary. Shannon, are you muted?
Yeah, that was me, sir. I want Ian here at 5 and tell George I'm going to sack him in about 3 minutes. What's the point of having a Minister of Transport who's always late?
The secretary accedes and leaves. Knock on the door.
Come in.
It's Natalie, carrying some files on a tray.
These have just come through for the Treasury, and this is for you.
He smiles. The tray has a cup of tea with 3 biscuits on a plate.
I was hoping you'd win. Of course, I'd have been perfectly friendly to the other bloke, just always giving him the boring biscuits with no chocolate.
Thank you.
She leaves. He drops his head, slamming it on the table in despair.
Oh, God, come on. You're the Prime Minister.
Interior Daniel's office, Daniel's house, day. And now we cut to Daniel, the stepfather and husband from the funeral, sitting very alone in his office in his house, his head also on the desk. A moment of stillness and sorrow. Then he lifts his head, picks up the phone, and dials.
Karen, it's Daniel. Can we talk? I'm sorry. I sort of literally don't have anyone else to talk to.
She's in her kitchen, obviously mid-40s, very English, still quite nice looking and good.
Absolutely. Horrible moment now, though. Can I call back in a minute?
Oh, I lost my page.
Page 16. At the top, first 8th.
All turned around. Okay, I'm saying, of course.
Doesn't mean I'm not terribly concerned that your wife just died.
Understood. Bugger off and ring me later.
He hangs up. Interior Karen's house, day. Karen goes back to the question in hand. Her 2 children, just back from school. Daisy is sweet and 6. Bernie is grumpy and 10. Karen is cooking chicken kebabs for their dinner.
So, what's this big news then?
Kay.
We've been given our parts in the nativity play. I'm the lobster.
The lobster?
Yes.
In the nativity play?
Yes, first lobster.
There was more than one lobster present at the birth of Jesus.
Durr.
Right. And what about you, Bernie?
Bernie is an unpleasant, grumpy little bugger.
I wanted to be a lobster, but I'm an angel. I hate angels. They're just made up rubbish.
Know about that. It's just that these days they probably don't have wings. We don't recognize them. They probably just look like normal, like you or I, but still cunningly wander around doing good.
In our play, they don't do any good at all. They just stand there looking like poofs and saying, "Isn't baby Jesus great?" when everyone knows he's just a stupid doll. I want to be a lobster. And by the way, Toby says Uncle Dave is a dickhead.
It's probably right.
And I hate kebabs.
Right. For me.
Exterior, interior farmhouse in France, day. Cut to total darkness. Then windows start to open on the living room of Jamie's chaotic but lovely French farmhouse. Jamie, with his suitcases deposited in the middle of the room, is opening the windows, some of which have little angel silhouettes cut in the wood. Exterior shot as the windows continue to open. Back inside, Jamie stands in front of a little desk. He puts down a typewriter and he sits.
Alone again. Naturally.
Interior school hall, day. Cut to a group of children singing at school. They are singing Catch a Falling Star.
Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away.
We pan along the happy singing faces and then come to Sam, silent, downcast. Over the song, we hear Karen and Daniel talking. Daniel, you're muted.
All right, I'm getting my pages all mixed up.
Page 19, first quarter.
Obviously, he was gloomy before she died, but it's really gotten worse these last weeks.
Interior, exterior, Daniel's house, day. Cut to them in Daniel's street, entering the house. The camera follows them.
He now spends literally all the time in his room. He'll be up there now.
Nothing unusual about that. My horrid son Bernard stays in his room all the time. Thank God.
No, but it's all the time.
The camera leaves them and tracks up the stairs towards Sam's door.
And I'm afraid you know that there's something really wrong. I mean, clearly it's about his mom, but Christ, he might be injecting heroin to his eyeballs for all I know.
At the age of 11.
Well, maybe not into his eyeballs then. Maybe just his veins. And then he just listens to music all night and watches videos.
The camera sits on the door. Exterior balcony of Daniel's house, day. Daniel and Karen standing on the balcony outside of the house.
The problem is it was his mom who always used to talk to him. And I don't know. The whole stepfather thing seems somehow to suddenly matter, like it never did.
Hey. It's always going to be a total shit time. Just be patient. Maybe go check his room if you need it.
He smiles.
Yes, good. Absolutely good. I will. And sometimes when he comes out, it's obviously he's been crying. Oh, Karen, it's such a ridiculous waste. And if it's somehow going to ruin Sam's life as well, I just don't know.
Karen touches his shoulder.
Get a grip. People hate sissies. No one is ever going to shag a bloke who cries out.
Interior Daniel's house, hallway, day. Cut to Karen at the door of Daniel's house.
Thanks for coming. Must be busy days with David and everything.
Yeah, I never see him. By the way, I did a little research into Nicole Kidman for you. She's got some excellent internet sites. Keep you busy in these lonely evenings.
Oh, don't be disgusting. Get out of my house. I gotta fix dinner.
Well, there we go. A perfect opportunity to bond. I find chicken kebabs always go down very well.
Interior, Daniel's house, corridor, night. Cut to Daniel upstairs outside Sam's room.
Time for dinner.
I'm not hungry.
But Sammy, I've got chicken kebabs.
Look at the sign on the door.
It says, I said I'm not hungry.
Right.
Exterior street, day. Colin in the car. He stops for a woman crossing the road and gives her a big thumbs up. She turns away, despising him. He raises his eyebrows and shoots on. He pulls up, opens the car door and gets Tony. And in gets Tony. They're the two who are discussing America at the wedding. Interior, Colin's car, day.
Exciting news.
What?
I've bought a ticket to the States. I'm off in 2 weeks.
No.
To a fantastic place called Wisconsin.
No.
Yes, Wisconsin, babes. Here comes sex. So,
No.
Colin.
No, Colin. There are a few babes in America, I grant you, but they're already going out with rich guys. You'll just end up in a dingy bar, snogging someone who's the spitting image of your mom. And that's not nice, I should know. I tried it.
Nah, you're just jealous. Tone, you know perfectly well that any bar anywhere in America contains 10 girls more beautiful and more likely to have sex with me than a whole lot of them in the United Kingdom.
That's total bullocks. You've actually gone mad now.
No, I'm wise. Wise. Statewide. I'm Prince William without the boring relatives.
No, I mean it. No, Colin. No.
Interior, the fair trade office, morning. Colin enters. He's the guy who brings the sandwiches around to companies. It's an interesting place, a fair trading company, mixture between charity and the body shop, big and messy. 50 people, lots of smartly designed posters and marketing stuff on the desks and walls. Colin is very bouncy. He smiles and does a thumbs up at a beautiful girl at one desk. No reaction. Stay with her. Her name is Mel. She gets up and knocks on the door behind her.
Come in.
Interior, Harry's office, morning. He enters the office of Harry, in his mid-40s, stylish, quite a serious man, but with hidden places.
Sarah, for you.
Oh, great. Settling in fine?
Absolutely.
Sarah walks in a bit awkwardly. Mel leaves gracefully.
Ah, Sarah, how are you?
Good. The quality of my work has shot up since I got that Harry Potter screensaver.
Yes, I've noticed. Now, switch off your phone and tell me, exactly how long have you been working here?
It's 2 years now, and 7 months, and 3 days. And I suppose, 2 hours?
Right. And how long have you been in love with Carl, our enigmatic but attractive chief designer?
Sarah's taken aback. She thought this was a total secret.
2 years and 7 months and 3 days, and I suppose 1 hour and 45 minutes. There was a great half hour at the beginning that was very relaxed.
Yes, I thought as much.
Do you think everyone knows?
Yes.
Do you think Carl knows?
Yes.
This is bad news on so many levels.
And I was just thinking perhaps the time had come to do something about it.
Like?
Ask him out for a drink. Then after 20 minutes, casually drop into the conversation the fact that you'd like to marry him and have lots of sex and babies.
You know that?
Yes. And so does Carl. Think about it. For all our sakes.
Certainly. Excellent. Yeah, will do. Thanks, boss.
She opens the door and leaves, and a very good-looking guy walks in. Carl's muted.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi, Carl.
And she walks out. Interior, the Fair Trade Office morning. We follow her through the door. She stops, takes a deep breath, switches on her phone, and it rings immediately. She answers.
Babe. Yep, absolutely. Fire away.
She turns to Mel at her desk.
Actually, Mel, is it? Could you turn the radio off? I can't take that song this time of day.
We realize that in the background we've been listening to Christmas is All Around. Interior radio station day. A local radio station, a disc jockey at the mic. Christmas is all around, just coming to an end.
And that was the Christmas effort by the once great Billy Mann. Oh dear. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I call that the worst record I've ever heard this century in.
Looking through the other side, the next disc jockey is doing a cut-throating motion. The first disc jockey looks at a sheet on his desk and realizes his faux pas.
And yes, coincidentally, I believe Billy is the guest of my esteemed colleague's show in the next few minutes' time. Welcome back, Bill.
Interior radio station foyer day. Cut outside, Joe and Billy sitting there in the foyer, where the station's output is on, just looking totally broken. Interior radio station studio day, 10 minutes later.
So, Billy, welcome back to the airwaves. New Christmas single, Cover of Love is All Around.
Except we changed the word love to Christmas.
Yes, Christmas is all around. Is that an important message to you, Bill?
No, not really, Mike. Christmas is for people with someone they love in their lives.
And that's not you?
Oh, that's not me, Michael. When I was young and successful, I was greedy and foolish, and now I'm left with no one. Wrinkled and alone.
Wow. Thanks for that, Billy.
For what?
Well, for actually giving us a real answer to a question. Doesn't often happen here on Radio Wapping. I can tell you.
Ask me anything you like. I'll tell you the truth.
Best shag you ever had?
Britney Spears. No, only kidding. She was rubbish. No, only kidding.
Okay, here's one. How do you think the new record compares to your old stuff?
Come on, Mike. You know as well as I do that the record's crap. But you know.
Cut to Joe's POV, unhappy reaction.
Wouldn't it be great if #1 this Christmas wasn't some smug teenager, but an ugly old ex-heroin addict searching for a comeback at any price? All these young popsters, come Christmas Day, they'll be stretched out naked with a cute bird balancing on their balls. But I'll be stuck in a seedy hotel with my manager, Joe. Ugliest man in the world. Fucking miserable because our fucking gamble didn't pay off. So if you believe in Father Christmas, children, like your Uncle Billy does, buy my fucking record and particularly enjoy the incredible crassness of the moment when we tried to squeeze in an extra syllable into the fourth line.
I think you're referring to If You Really Love Christmas.
Oh, I am indeed, Mike. Come on, let it snow. Ouch.
So here it is one more time. The dark horse for this year's Christmas, #1. Christmas is all around. Thank you, Billy.
Joe is quietly hitting his head against a wall.
And after this, it's the news. Is the new prime minister in trouble already?
Interior PM's office, 10 Downing Street day. Cut to later that night. The PM is walking out with the minister and his top aide.
Sorry, George, but I need more than that. People won't accept that kind of fudge now, otherwise they'd have voted in the other zombies.
He closes the door. Instantly, a knock on the door. It opens. There's Natalie.
Natalie.
Sir?
She enters with a pile of papers and files, puts them down, and heads off. Then...
I'm starting to feel uncomfortable with us in such close proximity all the time, and me knowing so little about you seems elitist and wrong.
There's not much to know.
Where do you live?
Wadsworth, the dodgy end.
My sister lives in Wadsworth. Which exactly is the dodgy end?
Right at the end of the high street. Harris Street, near the Queen's Head.
Right, yes, that is dodgy. And you live with your boyfriend, husband, 3 illegitimate but lovely children?
No, I've just split up with my boyfriend, actually. So I'm back with my mom and dad for a while.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm well short of him. He said I was getting fat.
I beg your pardon?
He says no one's gonna fancy a girl with thighs the size of big tree trunks. Not a nice guy, actually, in the end.
Suddenly, there's a glimpse of vulnerability in her.
Right. Well, being Prime Minister, I could just have him murdered.
Thank you, sir. I'll think about it.
Do. Ruthless, trained military killers are always just a phone call away.
They both look at each other and there's a little laugh. For a moment, she was sad and he's cheered her up. She leaves.
Oh, God. Did you have this sort of problem?
Cut to a very stern portrait of Margaret Thatcher.
I very much suspect not.
Interior art gallery day. A huge wrapped picture against the wall of an empty art gallery. Lots of other wrapped picture frames on the floor. It's where Mark works.
Right. A very exciting moment. These humble packages contain our new exhibition, photographs by none other than the great John Seacott.
Exciting stuff. What's the theme?
She is dressed totally casually, almost unrecognizable from the person we saw earlier. Very modern and sexy.
He said Christmas, very family sort of thing. Crowd pleaser. There we go.
He opens it up.
Ah, interesting. Classic. Bleak. Fatal.
We see what he's just opened. A huge photograph of a really naked woman, her pubic hair neatly shaved into the shape of a Christmas tree. Interior art gallery day. Mark in total self-contained despair an hour later. They're sitting on the floor. They've been out and bought a Starbucks and switched on a radio.
Oh God. Oh God. It's a porn. It's just a porn. Be raided by the porn squad.
You know, I'm thinking of having an affair with my boss. What do you think?
Is he married?
Yes.
Bad idea then. The marriage vow is very sacred.
Yes, though I'm a great believer in acting on instinct.
Oh, no. Never do that.
Or, of course, I could have an affair with you.
Ha!
Why not?
Let's not go there.
Looks at her. She's lounging gorgeously.
You always look this gorgeous at work?
Yes, though in a different way.
Then he's doomed, isn't he?
I think so.
She lights a cigarette. On the radio, we hear
6 weeks to Christmas. And here's the one they're going to have a beat at the magic #1 slot. Yes, it's Westlife.
Interior Harry's office day. Mel is there. She is, it must be said, looking gorgeous in her gray suit.
Right. The Christmas party, not my favorite night of the year, and your unhappy job to organize.
Tell me.
Basic, really, find a venue, over order on the drinks, bulk buy the guacamole, and advise the girls to avoid Kavin if they want their breasts unfondled.
It's done. Wives and family and stuff?
Yes, I mean, well, no, not children, but wives, girlfriends, etc. Oh, Christ. You haven't got some horrible 6-foot gold tooth boyfriend you'll be bringing, have you?
No, I'll just be hanging around the mistletoe and hoping to be kissed.
She looks at him hard. Suddenly, real electricity in the room.
Really? Right.
She walks out. He sort of shakes his head in a wake up, what's going on way. Outside, Mel sits and starts to type on her computer. Interior farmhouse day in France. which blends through to Jamie typing in France, an old-fashioned typewriter and paper. Knock on the door. Interior, exterior, front door, farmhouse day. Jamie opens the door. There's a confident, middle-aged French woman, Eleanor. She is clearly in charge of the house and in some way with a nice, thick French accent.
Bonjour, Monsieur Benet.
Bonjour, Eleanor.
Welcome back. And this year, you bring a lady guest?
No. Change plans.
Dommage. And you're here till Christmas?
Yes. When I return to the enormous bosom of my family.
Good. And I have found you this time a perfect lady to help clean the house. This is Aurelia.
The shot widens to reveal, standing back nervously, Aurelia, a pleasant-looking, dark-haired woman, about 35. A nice face. NATALIE Bay, not Emmanuel Bear. Isabelle Hubert, not Isabelle Johnny. Wearing a very ordinary, cheap dress.
Bonjour, Aurelia.
Bonjour.
Je suis très heureux de vous avoir ici.
She looks puzzled.
Unfortunately, she cannot speak French. Like you, she is Portuguese.
Buongiorno. ¿Es Silvio molto bueno?
He mimes a little bit of football.
I think she is 10 years too young to remember there was a football called Eusebio. And molto bueno is Spanish.
Right. Absolutely. Well, good to meet you.
He shakes her hand.
And perhaps you can drive her home at the end of her work?
Absolutely. Con grande piacere.
Which is what? Hungarian?
Yes.
Interior Daniel's house, corridor, office, morning. It's a Saturday morning. Daniel walks past Sam's room. It's locked. There's strange music coming from in there. He walks past, shaking his head down, and heads to his office. He sits down and pauses and pushes a button. The computer starts up, a boring work spreadsheet. He's bored. He types in Excite, then Nicole Kidman. Instantly, up come a list of 10 Nicole Kidman-based sites. The fourth one says, Nicole Kidman, naked, naked, naked. Daniel goes to it. There's a seductive picture of Nicole and a list of photos, Gallery 1, Gallery 2, etc. He opens one, and up come tiny pictures of Nicole, not many, fully clothed. He double-clicks on one of them, but it doesn't come up. Instead, there's a form that says he can't go any further without giving credit card number. So he closes it. But when he does, lots of pictures of naked girls come up uninvited. It's a site called Quadruple X Teen Sluts, which at the moment Daniel hears a car pulling up outside. He swiftly closes Quadruple X Teen Sluts, but other things come up, increasingly pornographic and always with the words "cum" or "pink" in their title. He tries to close them, but more and more boxes start coming up. Finally, the computer settles on a site called Women Fucking Animals, which accordingly graphic pictures. He tries to close it, but it won't close. In fact, the machine freezes. As the doorbell goes, and now Daniel can't move the cursor to get the damn thing to shut down. He goes to the plug and turn off the electricity, but it doesn't make any difference. In desperation, he takes his jumper and throws it over the quite big computer screen. Interior, Daniel's front door, morning. Cut to Daniel at the front door.
Hello, Matthew.
They shake hands and then awkwardly drift into a hug. At this moment, they both can only think of wife or daughter. Father-in-law. James or Tony, go ahead and read that for me real quick.
Still a bit hard, isn't it?
Father-in-law. Yeah, go ahead.
Still a bit tricky. Come and sit down.
Why not? I bought a little gift for my grandson. Thanks to him, I've actually started to use that computer you gave me.
Really?
Yeah, I found a tremendous golfing site. In fact, let me show you. Where's your computer?
Let's have a drink first, shall we?
No, I insist. Come on. In the office, I presume.
Father-in-law heads in. Interior Daniel's house, office, morning. He takes the jumper off the machine. The screen is black. He pushes a button and up flicks Women fucking animals. He looks up at Daniel. Daniel at him. Pause.
Oh, this is disgusting. Where's Sam? This is just a step too far.
He runs up the stairs. Interior Sam's room day. Daniel opens Sam's door.
Do you want 50 pounds? Yes or no?
I'd prefer 100.
Okay, then whatever happens in the next minute, don't argue. Just agree with me on everything.
Okay.
Right. Get down here, young man, straight away.
Interior Daniel's office morning. Cut to the three of them in the office.
What is this, young man?
I don't know. Looks like a website about women having sex with animals.
And how did it get here?
Pause. Daniel realizes that was too complex.
All right, I'll tell you how it got here. You've been using my computer, Sam, and calling up this filth, haven't you?
He looks at him with slightly raised eyebrows.
Yes, I have.
And I don't know what to say. I hope you're ashamed of yourself.
Yes, I am.
It's disgusting, isn't it?
It really is.
Don't worry. We all have different ways of coping with grief, and maybe, Sam, this is yours. Let's just switch the machine off.
Sam pushes a button on the back. Daniel is taken aback.
How'd you do that?
The cancel button on the back.
All right. Useful.
Now, let's all forget about it.
I can't forget about it. I'm as angry with you, Sam, that... Is your pocket money docked for a month, young man?
Exterior bank cash machine day. Cut to 3 hours later. A cash machine. Out pops 100 quid, and Daniel puts it straight into Sam's hand.
Brilliant work, son.
Exterior walk home day. They're walking home.
Only one thing I don't understand. Why were you looking up women having sex with animals?
I wasn't. I was doing some work and looking up Nicole Kidman for work reasons, and then suddenly I tried to close the damn thing and the stuff came up.
You must have been looking up Nicole Kidman naked.
No.
You must have. It's number 4 on the Nicole Kidman list. Nicole Kidman naked, naked, naked. If you just looked up the Nicole Kidman homepage, it wouldn't have done that.
Pause, then fast.
All right. I was looking up Kidman naked, 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 you little greedy bastard.
He starts to laugh.
Pervert.
Computer nerd.
Wanky, wanky weirdo.
Freak. Sorry. Freak with bad haircut. Bad haircut.
Now they're laughing a lot. Friends together at last. Maybe their first laugh since Sam's mom died. Interior PM's office day. NATALIE is just leaving, having left the PM a cup of coffee and a plate of brownies. He's in the meeting with Carter.
Tell me, NATALIE, what do you think about us increasing aid to the third world? Liberal nonsense or crucial policy?
Not a bad idea. We can all do with a little less. Give them a bit more.
Well, quite. You see, the public are with me on this.
Then NATALIE comes back and removes the brownie plate.
You might as well get into practice.
On the other hand, actually, I'm not sure it is such a good idea.
Exterior London bench or walk day. A few minutes later, Daniel takes the plunge.
So what's the problem, Sammy-O? Is it just Mom, or is it something else, maybe? School? Are you being bullied? Or is it, I don't know, something worse? Can you give me any clues at all?
You really want to know?
I can't forget about it. Oh, shoot.
Page 46.
I really want to know.
Even though you won't be able to do anything to help?
Even if that's the case.
Okay. The truth is, actually, I'm in love.
Sorry?
I know I should be thinking about Mum all the time, and I am, But the truth is that I'm in love, and I was before she died, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Aren't you a bit young to be in love?
No.
Okay, you're right. Well, I can't deny it. I'm a little relieved.
Why?
Well, I thought it might be something worse.
Worse than the total agony of being in love?
No, you're right. So wait a minute. What exactly have you been doing in your room then?
Interior Sam's room, Daniel's house, day. Cut to the room, the door opens. It is full of posters of romantic movies. Sleepless in Seattle, Moulin Rouge, Dirty Dancing. Sam switches on the CD. The high drama of Dusty Springfield singing, "You Don't Have to Say You Love Me." He then opens the video cover. More romantic movies. Ghost, When Harry Met Sally, Crossroads, She's All That, and Pretty Woman. He switches on the telly. It's Romeo and Juliet, DiCaprio and Danes looking through the fish tank.
Wow. So, a bit of a love theme?
Yes. I've been trying to see if I can pick up any hints from the films. And then I find the songs just help.
The phone starts to ring. Daniel answers it. Karen's muted.
If you're still desperate, you could come around tonight for dinner.
No thanks. Breakthrough.
Good news. Tell me tomorrow.
Interior Karen's house, day. She hangs up and turns to her husband.
Oh, thank God, actually. Ernie's such a pig when we have guests around.
He is sitting there reading the paper. He is Harry from the office with the dangerous secretary. His attitude at home is a little disengaged. Karen passes a mirror.
Oh, God. Since when did my bottom stop being my bottom and turn into the second largest seaport in Britain?
Harry just looks up at her.
Did you talk to Sarah?
Yes, she says tonight's the night. She says she's going to make her move.
Interior Fair Trade Office, evening. It's late in the office. Sarah at her desk. She is putting on a bit of lipstick, furtively. We notice a framed photo of a good-looking young man on her desk. Then suddenly Carl is walking from the far end of the long office towards her. She watches him. He reaches her desk near the door.
Night, Sarah.
Night, Carl.
He leaves. She just sits there, frozen and useless. Her phone rings.
Yep, absolutely. Free as a bird. Fire away.
Interior Daniel's living room, night. A bit later, Daniel and Sam sitting opposite each other like an interview, each in the middle of a big couch. Daniel full of energy.
We can definitely crack this. Remember, I was a kid once too. Come on. It's someone at school, right?
Yep.
And how does she feel about you?
She doesn't even know my name. And even if she did, she'd despise me. She's 2 years older than me, and everyone worships her because she's heaven.
Right. Good. Well, basically, you're fucked, aren't you?
Sam nods. Interior Daniel's house, living room, night. Later that night, cut to Dirty Dancing, the end where Patrick Swayze is dancing very athletically. I've had the time of my life. Rocks. Sam and Daniel are watching.
Although this is a thought, listen up. Maybe you could use your gymnastics to win her over. Surely you're very groovy and sexy.
Sam does a brilliant handspring to get a Coke.
No, she's an artist who despises all forms of physical exercise.
Bugger, this is going to be tough.
Interior film studio, day. Cut to a couple having slightly weird sex, rather half-heartedly. They're both dressed, and he appears to be taking her from behind. Her leaning forward against a pillar in a stylish, dramatically lit living room.
Okay, you can stop there. Thanks.
Cut back to the paraphernalia of a huge film crew. The DOP immediately slips into a discussion with the director. The two stand-ins, because that's what they are, start to chat. They're two plain, sweet, simple people. John is muted, I think.
Oh, am I doing John too?
No.
Oh.
Where's John? Guys, who's John? You're freaking me out. Kavin, you're John. Kavin.
Kavin.
He's frozen.
Oh,
Kavin. Can you hear me?
we got you now. Let's go.
Okay. I tell you, I thought I was never going to get here today. That traffic was
Unbelievable.
Rowan needs to get back in.
Kavin, are you having trouble with your connection?
Can you hear me?
We can. We need to get the scene going though. Let's go.
I can't hear. Who is Judy?
Yeah, she said her unbelievable. Let's start the
Okay.
scene. Start with Ron. I tell you, I thought it was never.
I tell you, I thought I was never going to get here today. The traffic was
Unbelievable.
great. Just Judy.
John. Yeah, by the way, he introduced me as John.
I don't have that one. Yeah, by the way, they introduced me as John. I don't see that one.
Okay. I'll just read it. Yeah, by the way, he introduced me as John, but actually everyone calls me Jack.
Oh, fine. Nice to meet you, Jack. You got me right, though. I'm just Judy.
Great. Just Judy.
The assistant director comes up. He is Tony, Colin's discouraging friend. He is not very comfortable with his job at the moment.
Judy, could you take the top off this time? Lighting and camera need to know when we're actually going to see the nipples and when we're not. You know, shadows and things.
Oh, yes. Okay, right. At least it's nice and warm in here.
Absolutely. You've got to be ready for anything in this job, don't you? I was once standing in for Brad Pitt, and
Unfortunately, we're going to have to hurry. We need to shoot the actors before lunch.
Fine.
I promise I won't look.
She laughs a bit, then takes her jumper and bra off, pulling a bit of "What can you do? Look at John" and action. Then they start to mime the sex again. The cameraman stands very close, judging the light with his little machine.
And Jerry says, could you just put your hands on her breasts?
He does so.
And massage them, please.
Right. It's Junction 13. That's murder, isn't it? Total gridlock there this morning.
I don't have that.
Exterior, Jamie's car in France, day. Cut to France, totally empty road. Aurelia and Jamie in the car, total silence. Jamie getting embarrassed. He looks at the gorgeous valley and that they're driving through.
Bella.
She looks puzzled.
Montaño Agua?
He kisses his fingers to show approval. She just looks slightly perplexed.
No. Right. Silence is golden, as the Tremolos say. Clever guys, though I believe the original version was by Frankie Billy in the Four Seasons. Great band. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, shut up.
He just goes back to driving. Interior film studio, modern flat, day. The two stand-ins having sex again, on a bed in an ultra-modern flat. He is fully clothed. She is on top of him, still naked, on top. A few mimed seconds. Tony, still a bit shy about all this.
My mistake. Sorry, guys. It's all to do with the effect of light on flesh and all that. Jerry would like absolutely everything off.
That's me as well.
Yeah.
The things we do for a buck, eh? Cut to the DOP.
Okay, see that again.
The camera moves slightly sideways from where he's standing, measuring the light, to find they're now totally naked in the same position. They mime sex unpassionately and chat. So do you reckon to our new prime minister? What do you reckon of our new prime minister?
Oh, I like him. Can't understand why he's not married, though.
Oh, you know, the type. Married to the job, either that or gay.
And Judy, if you could just cheat the nipples a little left and down, please.
I have to say, Judy, this is a real pleasure. Lovely to find someone I can really chat to.
Thank you. Ditto. Oops, sorry.
All right, everyone. That's a wrap for the stand-ins. The actors are on their way down.
Interior cabinet room, 10 Downing Street day. All the cabinet are there, at least 4 women.
Right. Before we start, there is one crucial issue of national importance that I feel we must sort out.
He hands out a piece of paper to everyone.
I think it's vital as a cabinet that we show a united front on major issues. So I want everyone, after due and sober reflection, to tick the record they think is going to be the #1 at Christmas.
Everyone laughs.
Only a month to go. Anyone supporting my particular favorite? Christmas is all around?
The entire cabinet is horrified. No, absolutely not. It's going to be Westlife over my dead body.
Unexpected strength of feeling here.
John muted.
Prime Minister, it doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell. It would do the government untold damage to back such a loser.
Everyone loudly agrees.
All right. We'll return to it later. Though I must say I'd expect a little more support from some of you ungrateful bastards.
The president's visit. The president's visit.
Ah, yes. Lock away your daughters.
They laugh.
Though seriously, I fear this is going to be a tricky one to play.
There is a very strong feeling in the party, and indeed in the country, that we mustn't allow ourselves to be bullied from pillar to post like the last government.
Here. This is our first really important test. Let's take a stand.
Right. I understand that, but I have decided not to.
Big sigh.
Of course, we'll try to be clever, but let's not forget we're a very small country, one of many, and America is the most powerful country in the world. We're lucky to be friends, and we'll behave accordingly. I'm not going to act like a child here.
General grudging acceptance.
Right. Now, who do you have to screw around here to get a cup of tea and a chocolate biscuit?
At which moment, NATALIE enters with refreshments.
Right.
Exterior Whitehall, 10 Downing Street day. Dramatic cut to huge crowds outside Downing Street. Bright sunshine, the door opens, and out of the car step 2 security guards, and then the American president. He is immensely glamorous, a handsome, charismatic man. Interior, 10 Downing Street, entrance hall, inner lobby, day. Cut inside the front door. This time, it's noisy, with lots of people, some press, huge numbers of staff. The Prime Minister and President shake hands. There are 2 kings of their domains, but the PM's style seems quieter and more modest against the American sexy confidence.
I'm sorry your wife couldn't make it.
So is she, though she may have been kind of lonely.
Yes, tragic, isn't it? Just never been able to tie a girl down. I'm not sure politics and dating really go together.
Really? That's not what I found.
Yes, well, the difference is you're sickeningly handsome and I look increasingly like my Aunt Mildred this way.
They walk along the corridor and past NATALIE. Now that is what I call a good-looking woman.
Yes, she's a lovely person.
A burst of thunder outside. Interior TV studio day. Cut into the middle of a seedy UK-type Saturday morning pop show, Billy being interviewed by Ant and Dec next to a big pile of pop prizes. Joe gets a word in just before the interview starts.
So remember, it's a kid's show. Keep it sweet, keep it light. Think of little 6-year-olds with shining morning faces.
Trust me.
And they're on the air.
Oh, Billy, 3 weeks till Christmas, and it looks like the real problem is going to be Westlife.
Yes, I saw them on the show last week. They weren't very nice about my record.
Hershey, go ahead and read Ant too.
No scamps?
Yeah, but very, very talented musicians.
Cut to Joe, delighted at this tactful approach.
And you've brought a gift for the competition winners.
Yes, I have. Antwoord Deck. It's a personalized felt pen.
Oh, great.
It's brilliant. It even writes on glass. So if you've got a framed picture, like, for instance, this one, you can just write on it. Here we go.
He writes, "We've got little pricks."
Lots of kids watching, Billy, and it's live.
Oh, yes, so it is. Hiya, kids. An important message from your Uncle Bill. Don't buy drugs. Become a pop star, and then people will give them to you for free.
And I do believe we're heading for a commercial break. Thank the Lord.
Head and hands, Joe. You can hear thunder and rain outside. Interior meeting room, Downing Street, day. The room is now full of people, 8 of them, 3 Americans, 5 English, including the PM and the president. The experts are talking, PM looking intently on. The meeting is very tense. No, absolutely not. Never. We cannot and will not consult on that. Our business and ours alone.
Right. That is unexpected.
It shouldn't be. The last administration made it very clear we are just being consistent with their policies. We don't have to consult you on these issues.
But with all the respect, they were bad policies. We hope that we were meeting today to formulate better ones.
The Prime Minister is clearly on Carter's side, but he is taking his promised moderating stance. Shannon. You're muted.
I read and mute. Yeah, sorry. Right. Thank you, Alex. Let's move on, shall we?
Interior corridor night. Soon afterwards, the Prime Minister walking alone with Carter.
Calm down, Alex. Calm down. Trust me, this is not the time to pick a fight.
Interior PM's office, 10 Downing Street night. The president flops down into a chair. The end of the day. So, do you think who do you have to screw to get a drink around here? PM smiles wryly at the reflection of a sentence.
I'll get you a drink and you don't have to screw anyone. 2 whiskeys, please. Thank you.
On the rocks.
With ice. Well, now that was an interesting day.
I'm sorry if our line was firm. There's no point of tiptoeing around today and then just disappointing you for the next 4 years. I have plans and I plan to see them through.
Yes, it was. Certainly unexpectedly firm. There's one final thing I'd like to look at, very close to my heart, if you give me a second.
I'll give you anything you ask for, as long as you don't ask for anything I don't want to give. PM walks out into the corridor, passing Natalie on the way with the whiskeys. He smiles at her in the awkward way of a man in love. The camera continues to follow him.
Pathetic.
He goes into a door, enters a second office, grabs a file, walks backwards to a study. He enters and something odd is going on. The president and Natalie are standing in a guilty proximity. His hand on her hip. She blushes completely and moves a foot away. The president is unthrown. He just straightens his tie and reaches for a whiskey. Something weird happens to the sound for a second. This is awful for the Prime Minister. Great Scotch.
I'll be going then.
She walks out, her head bowed, past the PM. Privileged to meet you, Natalie. I hope to continue to see more of you as our 2 great countries work for a better future.
Thank you, sir.
She leaves. So, what are we dealing with here? Something very close to your heart.
Yes. Right. Yes. Indeed.
He is clearly quite shaken by what has happened. The camera lingers on him as he tries to gather himself. A clap of thunder. Interior, exterior, Tony's flat, day. It's a pretty small, unimpressive, very single man's flat. Knock on the door. Tony opens the door to a soaking, case-carrying Colin.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
I had to rent out my flat to pay for my ticket.
Not actually going ahead with this genuinely stupid plan.
Bloody am. Think this suitcase is full of clothes? Like hell it is. It's chocked a block full of condoms.
But I've only got one bed.
I know, but it's a double. And you're a sad act who hasn't had a girlfriend this decade, so there's room for me.
He's up the stairs and into the living room. The TV is on and the president is on it. Tony's single pizza sits there. Colin helps himself. Colin.
Great pizza. Oh, look, Sexy Prez is in town. The deeds he's done. Those are the deeds I want to do. Woof, woof.
Interior meeting room, 10 Downing Street day. Cut into the room of the final press conference. We see the PM and president sitting a couple of yards apart. Informal chairs, huge amounts of press facing them. The PM looks very serious.
Mr. President, has it been a good visit?
Very satisfactory indeed. We got what we came for. The special relationship is still very special.
And Prime Minister?
Love that word, relationship. Covers all matter of sin, doesn't it? Agreed to the president knowing that there couldn't be equality with America, but I wasn't prepared for a total lack of give and take. I fear this has become a bad relationship. Relationship based on the president taking exactly what he wants and casually ignoring those things that really matter to Britain. We may be a small country, but we're a great country too. And a friend who bullies us is no longer a friend. And since bullies only respond to strength, from this moment on, I will be more prepared to be less friendly. And the president should be prepared for that.
Huge, excited, photographic, and writing from the press. This is now a real story. At the back of the hall, or behind them, we see the cabinet members completely delighted, particularly Carter. At last, the PM has come off the fence. The press all shout out to get the president's reaction.
Mr. President! Mr. President! Mr. President! What do you make of that?
Well, it's certainly fighting talk, certainly unexpectedly firm. The PM looks up at him. The president looks back with a mixture of anger and newfound respect. Then we see some out of focus behind him. The focus changes. It's Natalie. The PM looks at her, she at him. Then she drops her head. Okay, real quick, I'm going to take a 5-minute break, pee break. When we come back, you guys, let's make sure we're picking up our cues, paying attention to what's going on. We're not quite halfway through, so we need to make sure we're picking up our pace, all right, to be done by 9, and I want to respect everybody's time and get through the script. So pick up our cues, pay attention and unmute when you know you're coming up, and we'll finish this just 5 minutes, okay? 5-minute break. Okay. Interior, PM's office, 10 Downing Street day. A cluster of people around the PM in his office congratulating him. His cabinet are very proud and overexcited. Enter his secretary.
It's your sister on the phone.
PM picks up.
Hiya, skunk.
Interior Karen's house day. Karen on the phone. Ah. Page 64.
Have you gone crazy?
You can't be sensible all the time.
You can if you're the prime minister.
Oh, Jesus, it's the Chancellor of Exchequer on the other line. I'll ring you back.
You won't.
She hangs up and gathers herself. Harry is there. She flicks a button to return to the CD. A pretty, slightly jazzy song plays as Karen goes over to the table full of Christmas presents that need wrapping.
The problem with the Prime Minister's sister is that it puts your life into a rather harsh perspective. What did my brother do today? He stood up to the American president. What did I do? I built a paper mache lobster head.
What is this we're listening to?
Joni Mitchell.
I can't believe you still listen to Joni Mitchell.
What are you talking about? I love her, and true love lasts a lifetime. Joni Mitchell is the woman who taught a good English wife how to feel. Which do you think I should give Daisy? The doll that looks like a transvestite or the one that looks like a prostitute?
He smiles as she shows him the two dolls. Little Daisy enters. Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to find my line.
65, top quarter.
Mommy, Bernie hit me.
You deal with him. I give up. Tonight, I feel my brother made all the right choice.
Interior PM's bedroom night. The Prime Minister getting ready for bed. He looks serious and alone. Puts on a CD, pushes it to the right track, waits a second, and then whams. It is a favorite high-tempo number from the 80s. He dances unexpectedly funkily to it, in total exhilaration and triumph. It's been a good day. Interior kitchen, farmhouse in France. Morning. Jamie is eating breakfast in a big old-fashioned like school dressing gown. Aurelia enters, takes his coffee cup off the pile of papers. He offers her a croissant. She smiles. From now on, when she speaks in Portuguese, it's in italics. On the screen, it would have subtitles.
Muito obrigada, mas não, se visses a minha irmã, saberias por quê?
No?
Aurelia nods.
Yes?
She shakes her head again.
Okay. Yes. No. That's all right. More for me.
So now, como tu estás a ficar mais gorducho a cada dia?
I'm lucky. I got one of those constitutions where I just don't put on weight.
She looks at him and smiles. There's a friendship developing. The phone rings, laughing. They search for his mobile, eventually finding it in a couch.
Hello.
Hello, Jamie.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good. I just thought I'd ring, check how you were, see how the writing's going.
Fine. Good. Thank you. And how's the sleeping with my brother going? Right. Much as expected then?
I just thought maybe with Christmas coming, we could get together for a drink or something.
Or maybe not.
Or as you say, maybe not. Oh, look. Sorry, I've got to go.
Cut back to Jamie, a bit in shock. He looks across at Aurelia. She smiles gently and then continues working. Interior Fair Trade Office morning. Mel sits at her desk. Harry is over with Sarah. We see that photo of the young man again.
So, any progress on our matchmaking plan?
No, I've done fuck all and never will because he's too good.
Well, at least we've got the luxury of worrying about love, unlike the people we're working for.
He points to a desperately sad, dramatically located poster of an African man in a field, his crops destroyed. This could be the picture behind her, so we see it quite often whenever we're at her desk. She looks at the poster and takes in and appreciates his point.
Yes. Yes.
Her mobile goes.
And of course, your mobile goes. So how's our Christmas party going?
Good. Think I found a venue. A friend of mine works there.
What's it like?
Good. Full of dark corners for doing dark deeds.
She looks at him hard.
Right. Right. Good. I'd like to see it.
Interior PM's office, 10 Downing Street, day. A door, a knock on it. It's Annie.
Annie, my darling, my dream, my boat. I need you to do a favor for me.
Of course, anything for the hero of the hour.
Don't ask me why, and for heaven's sake, don't read stuff into it. It's just a little weird personality thing. You remember Natalie, who works here?
The chubby girl.
Would we call her Chubby?
I think there's a pretty sizable ass there, yes, sir. Huge thighs.
Well, whatever. I'm sure she's a lovely girl, but I wonder if you could sort of redistribute her.
It's done.
She leaves. He takes in what he's done, looks out the window to a world where people are free, and then opens a new huge official file and begins to make notes. The camera moves away from him, round the room. It seems to get darker, and then the camera finds him again, at the other end of the room. He just sits there. A knock on the door. He almost flinches.
Yes, come.
The door opens slowly. It's a girl with tea. Not NATALIE. He looks at her, thinking. A possibility is gone. He talks into his speakerphone.
Mary, send Peter in and ask the Chancellor to come and explain why he's spending so much sodding money.
Exterior garden, a French farmhouse day. Jamie is typing outside in a jumper, putting the finished papers under a coffee cup. It's a lovely, big, ramshackle garden with a lake, even a little waterfall and a lake at the end. Aurelia takes the cup off the pile of papers to clean it, as she has done before.
Thank you.
But this time, because it's outside, moving the cup suddenly lets a burst of all the papers fly. Aurelia leaps to grab them, and so does he, but the pages are flying away and headed in the direction of the lake at the end of the garden.
Oh, meu Deus, peço imensa disculpa.
Oh, no.
She runs and catches some of them, but a huge heap have headed into the water. She gets into the water's edge, hesitates for a moment, and then slowly whips off her dress to reveal just pants and a bra. Time slows down. Jamie watches her. It's an unexpectedly lovely body under her funny old clothes.
No, don't do that. They're not worth it.
Ay, espero que valha a pena.
It's all just rubbish. Please don't.
But she dives in.
Oh, God, she's in.
Porra, está fria, porra!
He reaches the edge.
Oh, God, and now she'll think I'm a total spaz if I don't.
He hesitates and whips off his jumper and trousers and dives in.
Fuck! It's freezing! Fuck!
They swim around after the floating papers.
Espero que isto seja bom. Não quero morrer de pneumonia para salvar porcarias que podiam ser escritas pela minha avó.
Seriously, this isn't worth it. It's not bloody Shakespeare. Stop now, stop. Enough. Oh, God. What the hell is that?
As he treads in disgusting mud. Interior, living room, kitchen, day. Cut to a few minutes later in the kitchen or the living room. She's in his big old dressing gown. He's just in a towel.
I'm so sorry.
Lamento muito.
Thank you.
De nada. Talvez possas dar o meu nome a uma das personagens?
I'll name one of the characters after you.
Ou dar-me 50% dos lucros?
Or I can give you 5% of the profits.
Que tipo de livro é? Tipo. Ha 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 ha.
He points to the pages and mimes laughter, tears, and a heart. Mimes knife, murder.
Thriller, crime.
Yes, see. Homicide, murder.
Muito miedo.
She mimes a scared face. He mimes back an uncertain hand.
Sometimes scary, sometimes very bad writing. So, no, not so scary.
A slightly awkward pause.
Tenho de ir a trabalhar. É melhor.
She mimes cleaning.
E talvez mais tarde me possas levar a casa?
She points to 6 o'clock on her watch and then mimes driving. He nods yes.
My favorite time of day. Driving you.
A parte mais triste do meu dia é deixar-te.
Interior, exterior car and French scenery. They drive along. He looks at her. Her hair still wet. She catches him looking at her, and he looks away. Exterior gallery day. A sign outside the photographer's gallery saying, Christmas capers. Interior gallery day. Cut inside, Mark is nervous. Harry and Mel are there.
Really sorry about the pictures.
No, they're very office party. What's this one called?
Vagina, I believe.
And this one?
That's Vagina 2. as in vagina number 2, rather than vagina also, though, of course, it's also a vagina.
Karen comes over to Harry. She's been at the other end of the gallery.
Oh, I think it's the best party venue ever. I particularly like the portrait of the 4 tops.
Cut to a large photo of 4 black penises.
Oh, Jesus. I've got to go see the scary headmistress. Bernie's in trouble again.
Don't tell me.
Take my advice, Mel. Don't marry. Work, you lose your looks, you pour all your life and love into the children who turn out to be total bastards. Certainly the boys do. Nice to meet you. See you later.
She kisses Harry and heads out and passes in the door Peter from back from his honeymoon. Mark is thrilled.
Pedro, hey, good to see you. How are you, you ugly bastard?
Good. A huge relief to be back. All that sex wears a man out. No. Dangerous perfection as always. Jesus Christ.
I know.
They look at one of the pictures.
I mean, what is going on here?
A very large penis.
It's trick photography. Oh, we all do.
Exterior school car park day. Karen speeds in rather too fast. Interior headmistress's office, school day. A slightly scary formal room. The headmistress is there. A very scary, serious older lady with the form teacher and her son, Grumpy Bernard. Karen gives him a pretty stern look.
Bernard was asked to write an essay for religious education about his Christmas wish.
Right.
An apparently charming subject, but not for Bernard, Mr. Trench.
She hands over the boy's religious education teacher.
We've had some excellent essays, many concentrated on a world at peace.
You go ahead. We're probably just couldn't hear.
Okay. And there was one very touching one by a young boy with a sick sister. She was just wishing that she could just, for one day, for Christmas Day, be well again.
That happens.
I would like you to read your son's contribution.
Very well.
She's handed an essay.
What, I have to do it here?
Yes, I'm sorry, Mrs. Trevor, but I want your son to face up to what he's done in front of everyone.
All right.
She starts to read. We hear her son's voiceover and actually sees the images he is describing.
I have thought long and hard about what I would wish for at Christmas, but after long consideration...
You've misspelled consideration.
Sorry.
Karen shakes her head, disappointed, and goes back to reading.
After long consideration, I have decided this is my Christmas wish. That just for one day, you could see people's farts.
Cut back to Karen for a second. She looks up. They all know what she's just read. An atmosphere of great gravity.
Can you imagine anything more fun?
Interior Christmas home afternoon. A lovely traditional Christmas dinner is being eaten. All the family there.
You get to the end of a huge Christmas meal and your grandmother lets rip, and at last, for once, she can't blame the dog.
Small blue bubble rises up from the grandmother. Interior church, night. An ideal old country church.
You go to church and for the first time ever, it's fun.
The place is just bubbling with blueness. Large farts out of tiny people, small ones out of big people. The choir are all breaking wind.
And then finally, you get the moment we've waited for all our lives.
Interior, exterior, Buckingham Palace day. The Queen's speech with blue farts in it.
And we must, of course, never forget the importance of tradition.
A hugely formal parade on her horse, and the horse breaks wind.
And the importance of family.
Then a shot of her and her 2 sons walking through St. James Park. She breaks wind. Interior headmistress's office, school day. Karen shakes her head.
Right, right. I see. Yes, this is disappointing. I'm embarrassed and almost ashamed. Would you mind if I had a word with Bernard outside?
They go out into the corridor together. Interior school corridor day.
Sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry too, but sorry and ashamed that I put you in a school with such total pricks. That they don't see a good gag when they see one.
What?
You heard me. This is high class comedy. This is first rate stuff. You're my son, and obviously I'm going to love you, but now I really love you. You know, I genuinely think that they could develop this, you know? They sprayed some sort of invisible fart detecting gas into the air. It could happen.
You think so?
Well, damn sure.
Interior record company boardroom day. A large corporate boardroom. Billy is seated. Joe is pacing.
You think so?
I sure hell, damn it, I sure do. If this lot put a bit of extra cash behind you, we can be number one. All you got to do is just, butter them up a little bit. Make them realize you're a team player.
Right. Cool. So be sweet to the suits.
I'm being serious, Bill. You're a genius. I know it. You know it. But we also know that this industry is full of self-important little shits. And sometimes we need those little shits on our side.
Absolutely. Wise words. Profound truths.
Here goes.
The door opens. In come 3 quite hip-looking pop executives, 2 older guys and a younger woman.
Dave, Elaine, Gina. Wow. Good to see you. I'm Joe. This is, well, we all know who this is. This is Billy Mann.
Hey, Dave, Elaine, and Gina. How old are you, Gina? 12, 13?
Actually, I'm 24. How old are you?
I'm 94. Ever given a very old man a blowjob?
Joe laughs.
Well, I think we all know why we're here. The record company is great. The video is Santa static sensation, but we just need to work out how we make our darn ass sure Christmas is all around, reaches number 1.
Absolutely. Rock on. I also wouldn't mind finding out which one of you little fuckers said you'd chuck me off the label if the single was a flop.
Exterior cut French farmhouse day. Cut to Jamie putting on his glasses. Lots of Frenchy presents, wine and cheese, etc. in the car. Aurelia stands by.
Christmas, Noel, Grando, Pamelio.
Exterior near Aurelia's house day. Cut to him letting her off at the edge of town. She is getting out of the car when he stops her. He puts forward his hand to shake it. She shakes it. She takes it and shakes it, and then... Where'd Rowan go?
Obrigada, vou ter saudades de você. É a tua digitação muito lenta. É a tua condução muito mal.
He shrugs his shoulders, none the wiser. So she simply leans in and kisses him gently on the cheek, and he walks away. He stops and thinks and then sets off again, a little dazed and confused. Then, coming around the corner, suddenly there's a car in front of him, and he's driving on the wrong side of the road, and he swerves and just gets away with his life. Exterior, London Street, night. Smart cut to a busy London street at night as the lights from the cars illuminate the sidewalk. We just catch a glimpse of the headmistress from Bernard's school, a lonely figure nervously crossing the street. See the outside of Mark's gallery. Harry's office party in full swing. Interior gallery, night. Cut inside. A Christmas song plays. The gallery looks warm and party ready. We see Carl surrounded by pretty girls and Sarah standing a bit nervously on her own, beside a huge graphic naked photo. She is looking quite lovely herself. Mel is looking absolutely devastating, as girls can do at Christmas, with a tight red dress and a tiny pair of devil's horns. She talks slightly disinterestedly to another girl. Harry talks with Karen and a friend. Then, Sadie, we can't hear you.
All right. I suppose we better do the duty round.
You're a saint.
You see him looking across at fabulous Mel and then goes back to his conversations. And suddenly, surreally, quickly, Mel is there, tapping him on the shoulder.
Any chance of a dance with the boss?
Yes. Sure. As long as your boyfriend doesn't mind.
Not my boyfriend.
Cut to Mark. He is talking to an old man, probably a retired partner of the firm. This is a particularly good one. What's that called? A photo with 100 naked people with no heads. Mark, you're muted. I think it's the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. Then cut to Mel and Harry dancing. We're aware of Karen elsewhere, just talking sweetly to a very dull couple.
You're looking very, very pretty tonight.
Little pause.
For you.
Sorry?
It's all for you, sir.
Exterior street, night. The moving camera moves around a dark street corner to find a naked body curled around a dressed man. It feels like Harry and Mel outside the gallery back door. Then the DOP just appears in the shot. Then the sound of sneezing.
Okay, stop there. Give Judy a coat, someone.
John immediately whips off his jacket and gives it to her.
Thanks. You're a real gentleman.
To you, just to you. He's obviously developing a bit of a crush. Interior gallery night. The party again. Mark having a sexless dance with a short girl. Sarah talking to Karen.
I suppose it's his job to dance with everyone, isn't it?
Yes, some more than others.
She looks across at Mel, who is talking to Harry. Then suddenly Carl is there.
Just one dance before we run out of chances.
Who? Me?
Unless you...
No, good. Yes. Nice. Thanks.
A perky tune plays, but the second they start to dance, a romantic tune begins. They have to get closer, and they seem to fit pretty well together. A moment of happiness. Interior headmistress's flat, night. The camera moves out and around to a nearby flat, a nice but quite small London mansion flat. Mrs. Monroe, the headmistress from Bernard's school, lets herself in.
Hello.
Aha, welcome.
The headmistress heads into the kitchen and calls out as she pours a glass of water.
And how was today?
Oh, it comes in waves. Excellent episode of Starsky and Hutch after lunch. Those two really are very bad drivers indeed.
The headmistress heads into the bedroom where her bedbound partner is sitting in her pajamas. She is a very sick woman of the same age. You can tell immediately the dynamic of the relationship. Geraldine's the teasing funny one. Headmistress is the rock.
Here you go. And I've got some lovely sausages for you later.
She sits down next to her.
And how was school?
One rather strange incident. Mother came in. Her son had written a really shocking essay, and she took the boy outside and left me and Mr. Trench waiting like a pair of spare parts for 10 minutes before we realized they'd quite simply buggered off.
How splendid. Teach you to be so pompous. I bet the essay was excellent.
Well, actually, to be honest, it did have its amusing side. His Christmas wish was to see people's farts.
Bravo. That's my favorite. That's my Christmas wish too.
She laughs and suddenly gets a stab of pain and lets out a little moan.
You all right, my love?
Yes, fine. Now, what about these sausages? They're not all fancy, are they? Pork and leek and apple and all that shit?
Absolutely not. All right, I'll pick out the apple. and the leek, and the asparagus.
Geraldine roars with laughter. Headmistress, too. Love makes her lovely. Interior car night. Cut to Carl and Sarah in a car together. The music plays on. Sarah still in a state of shock. Interior bedroom, Karen's house night. The song continues to play over Harry and Karen in their bedroom.
Good night. Although I felt bad.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
It's true.
She slips off her dress shyly. She is a little chunky now.
Now the only clothes I can buy were the ones owned by Pavarotti.
Cut back to Harry watching her.
Smells very pretty.
Is she?
You know she is, darling. Be careful there.
Interior Mel's bedroom night. Mel slipping off her dress in her seductive bedroom. Red underwear. Startling figure. Interior hallway. Sarah's flat. Night. Later that night, in Sarah's hallway.
Good night.
Good night.
He kisses her. Not on the cheek. On the lips. Pause. He's very straight-faced.
I don't actually have to go.
Right. Good. That's good.
It's not that she's smug about this. It's the best moment of her life. She just mustn't leap up and scream. She tries to play it cool.
Excuse me 1 second, Carl.
Interior living room, Sarah's flat, night. She goes next door and screams silently and jumps up and down hysterically and gestures to God in prayer, and then resorts herself and goes back into the hallway coolly. Interior hallway, Sarah's flat, night.
Yep, that's good. Why don't you just come upstairs?
Interior bedroom, Sarah's flat, night. She's tidying frantically. Then he enters.
Hey.
They move together and kiss. A few moments pass in a dissolve. She unbuttons his shirt. He just looks at her. Off comes the shirt. She puts her arms around his shoulders and kisses his neck. Then he kisses her again. In bed, she is just in her bra and pants. He lies almost on top of her. His shirt off, but his trousers on. They kiss. Then
Here, let me take these off.
he starts to undo his belt. Not a graphic sex scene, but what happens next while concentrating on their faces is that he lies down and within 20 seconds, she sits on top of him. He looks up.
Where'd you go?
Soft music plays. She is looking hard at him, then, full of shyness, removes her bra. And then the phone starts to ring. 6 rings. She glances at her phone, or glances at her watch. It's 12:30 a.m.
I better answer it.
She tips off of him to answer the phone, which is a scramble to find. The person on the other end is talking a lot.
Hello. Hello, darling. No, I'm not busy. No, fire away. Right. Right.
She looks at Carl, naked, beside her.
Yes. I'm not really sure it's going to be possible, actually, to get in touch with the Pope tonight, but...
Slowly, Carl slips sideways to sit by the bed. She mouths to him, I'm sorry.
Yes, yes. No, I'm sure that he's very good at exorcism. And yes, Paul McCartney might be good too. Yes, I'll definitely look into it.
Carl sits up on the side of the bed.
Okay, bye-bye. I'll talk to you later. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
It was my brother. He's not well. He calls a lot.
I'm very sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it is what it is. And sort of there being no parents now and us being over here, it's my job to keep an eye on him. Well, not job. Obviously, I'm glad to do it.
Of course. It's okay. Life is full of interruptions and complications.
He leans in and kisses her, and then away. Then we have 20 more seconds of romance, and then the phone goes again. She watches it ring.
Will it make him better?
No.
Then maybe don't answer.
Pause. She looks at Carl and reaches back and answers.
Hey, how you doing? Right.
Carl sits quietly at the bedside.
Little darling, please don't. We're going to find the answer between us, and it won't hurt anymore.
And Carl puts on his head in his hands, waiting.
No, I'm not busy. If you want me to come now, of course I will.
Carl just stares at her, and she drops her head. Sad music plays, only the bed between them, but they're worlds apart. Interior bedroom, headmistress's flat, night. Cut to Geraldine, fast asleep, but breathing badly. The headmistress is in bed beside her, looking at the ceiling, very worried. Interior bedroom, Karen's house night. Cut to Karen lying awake beside Harry. Very sad. She knows in some ways she's lost him. She looks across at him, then back up, a tiny tear gathered in her eye. Interior bedroom, Daniel's house night. The same sad music plays. Daniel is in his bedroom. Very light, we've caught him at a bad moment. He is looking at a picture of his Joanna and is near tears. The door opens. He snaps out of it as best he can. Good enough to fool Sam, who enters in his pajamas.
I got some terrible news today.
Where'd Alan go?
Let's have it then.
Joanna's going back to America.
Your girl's American?
Yes, she's American, and she's not my girl, and she's going back to America, and that's the end of my life as I know it.
Right. That is bad news. We need Megan. We need her now.
Interior kitchen, Daniel's house night. Cut to them in the kitchen, in pajamas, eating ice cream from tubs and watching the end of Sleepless in Seattle. First moment, she approaches the desk at the Empire State, and the guy says, "It's closed." Then cut back to the boys, and then cut back to the end as Meg and Tom hold hands and Jimmy Durante comes in. It's so important to make someone happy.
Though you know, Sammy, I'm sure she's unique and extraordinary. But generalism is that, in the end. There isn't just one girl for each of us.
There was for Meg and Tom. There was for you. And there is for me. She's the one.
He lifts his finger a distinctive one movement.
Fair point. But her name's Joanna.
Yep. Same as Mom. Spooky.
Well then, in one way we're in luck. At least we have the godlike genius of Scott Walker.
Who's he?
Listen and learn.
Interior living room, Daniel's house night. Cut to them sitting there listening to Scott singing the gloriously melancholic Joanna. During the first line, Joanna mimes a little piano flurry. But then he begins to join in, gently saying the words, then melodramatically miming along to Mighty Scott, and Sam mimes the drums behind.
Joanna, I can't forget the one they call Joanna. We own the summer hand in hand, Joanna. And now she's always just a tear away. Good you long lost summer leaving me behind you.
Interior Heathrow Airport day. The next day, Heathrow Airport. Cut to Heathrow Airport. Tony and Colin are just rushing in out of some rain.
You'll come back a broken man.
Yeah, back broken. Too much sex.
Not on Colin. He is heading to customs. Tony is behind a barrier. They shout out these final words.
You're on the road to disaster.
No, I'm on Shag Highway, heading west.
All American girls look like Jabba the Hutt.
Farewell, failure. America, watch out. Here comes Colin Friswell.
And he's gone. Tony walks away, suddenly alone. He's really going to miss Colin. Doesn't quite know what to do with himself. Interior Fair Trade office day. Next day, a slightly post-party mood. Harry and Mel in his office.
Right. I'll be back at 3. Christmas shopping, never an easy or pleasant task.
He heads out, but just before he's gone.
You gonna get me something?
I don't know. Hadn't thought about it.
There's a new sexual tension between them.
Where's Sarah, by the way?
Her nearby desk with that photo on it is empty.
She couldn't make it in today. A family thing.
There's a word for hangover I haven't heard before. I'll see you later.
Yes. Look forward to it. A lot.
And he heads out, all perplexed by how he's feeling. Interior hospital day. Cut to Sarah and her brother Michael, a high-security hospital ward. Very bare, a lonely room. He is a terrible version of the young man we saw in the photo on her desk. Ghostly pale with dirty hair, a different weight, either thinner or fatter. They are just sitting opposite each other. Pause. He just looks at her.
Have you been watching stuff on TV?
No.
Oh.
Yes, every night.
Oh, good.
They're trying to kill me.
They're not trying to kill you, babe.
Pause. He slowly lifts his hand to hit her. A male nurse moves to protect her. Sarah takes the raised hand and says very gently,
Don't do that, my darling.
Exterior London Street day. Cut to Harry walking down the street. It's all hugely Christmassy now, trees and lights everywhere. He takes out his mobile phone and speed dials.
So, are you going to get me something?
I thought I'd made it clear last night. When it comes to me, you can have everything.
Slightly shocked, he passes Mark's gallery. Interior gallery, Peter's office, Juliet's office, day. We move into the shop. Mark is also on the phone. Two squirrel girls giggle in the background, inspecting the photos.
Actually, they're not funny. They're art. Okay, let's say Thursday at my place.
Cut to Peter in his office on the phone.
Can't wait. We have exciting pictures of sharks.
Cut to Peter in his office on the phone.
But for now, I've got Juliet on the line. Can I patch you through? She wants to ask you a little favor.
Mark sighs, not happy.
Okay, fine.
Thanks. And be nice.
I'm always nice.
You know what I mean. Marky, try to be friendly.
I'm always.
Funny clicking sound then.
Mark,
Hi. How was the honeymoon?
it was great, and thanks for the gorgeous send-off.
She's making the call from her office. Pause.
So, what can I do for you?
It's only a tiny favor. I've just tried the wedding video, and it's a disaster. It's come out all blue and wibbly,
I'm sorry.
and I remember you filming a lot on the day, and I just wondered if I could look at your stuff.
No. Look, to be honest, I didn't really.
While he's talking more and more schoolgirls come in. It's like the birds and the birds. Every time we cut around, there are 10 more there.
Please. All I want is just one shot of me in a wedding dress that isn't turquoise. You must at least have 10 seconds of that.
Pause. The place is now really packed with 50 giggling uniformed schoolgirls.
Okay, I'll have a look. But to be honest, I think I might have wiped it, so don't get any hopes up. Must go. Okay, very funny. Unless you have 3,000 pounds and are willing to waste it on total pornography, get out now.
Exterior Main Street day. Back to Harry, now on a big main street on his mobile.
So, what do you need? Something along the stationary line? Are you short of staplers?
No, I want something I don't need. I want something I want. Something pretty.
Right. Right.
He closes his phone, disturbed by this exchange, then spots Karen in the crowd and waves.
Sorry I'm late. I had to drop Bernie off for rehearsal.
Is he still traumatized by not being a crustacean?
He says only little minders believe in angels. Right. Upper child.
They head into the big store, Selfridges as it were. Interior department store day.
Keep yourself occupied for 10 minutes while I go do the boring stuff for our mothers.
She kisses him and heads off. He quickly looks around and sees the jewelry section, pauses and heads for it fast, reaches a counter, sees exactly what he wants. There's a queue. Damn! Then suddenly, a new voice.
Looking for anything in particular, sir?
Yes, that necklace there. How much is it?
It's $370.
Okay, I'll have it. Thanks.
It's a beautiful, delicate gold heart necklace.
Do you want it gift wrapped?
Yes, why not?
Indeed.
He takes the necklace out and puts it down a little blue pad, then turns, opens a drawer, and takes out a little blue box.
There we go. Just pop this in here.
Puts the necklace in it, placing it tenderly, reorganizing it a bit, and then gets the top of the box and puts it on.
Okay, excellent.
Not quite finished.
This makes Harry a little tense. Rufus doesn't notice, but goes over to a variety of ribbons.
Blue or burgundy?
Blue. Blue will be fine. Look, if we could be quite quick.
Certainly, sir. Ready in the flastiest of flashes.
In a very trained manner, he cuts 2 feet of the ribbon, wraps it around the box, and then wraps it around again, and then ties it.
That's great.
Thank you, sir. We try to make things beautiful.
Well, yes, you certainly do.
Rufus takes out some scissors and pulls the ribbon to curl it. Harry, very tense now, but it's the final flourish.
That's great.
Rufus turns and opens another drawer and takes out see-through cellophane bag.
Jesus, actually, I don't need a bag. I'll just put it in my pocket.
This isn't a bag, sir.
Really?
No, sir. This is much more than a bag.
He opens the bag, turns and opens another drawer, and takes out a little dried roses and then some lavender and sprinkles them in the bag. Harry looks at his watch and starts to look worriedly at people coming down the lift.
Could we be quick, please?
Certainly, sir. Prontetismo.
At that moment, his mobile rings, Harry getting very exasperated now. This is Rufus.
Just a moment, please, sir. Hello. Oh, hello. Gabriel, yes, I'm sure it is. But I'm afraid I'll have to call you back. Bye now. Sorry, sir. Now just...
Rufus twists the top of the bag and then turns around and opens another drawer. Takes out a 4-inch stalk of cinnamon.
What's that?
It's a cinnamon stick, sir.
Actually, I really can't wait.
Oh, you won't regret it, sir.
Wanna bet?
Looking around more frantically.
This but the work of a second.
He twists the cinnamon stick and ties it on.
There we go. Almost finished.
Almost finished? What else can there be? Are you going to dip it in yogurt and cover it with chocolate buttons?
No, sir. Just pop it in this Christmas box.
But I don't want a Christmas box.
But you said you wanted it gift wrapped.
I did, but...
This is the final flourish, sir.
Oh, God, can I just pay?
He's looking around desperately.
Certainly, sir. Let's just pop it in here and then just attach a little spring of holy.
No, bloody holly. Oh, God, leave it.
Because sure enough, Karen is right there. Harry bounces away from the counter.
Sorry I'm late. Hanging around the old jewelry section, eh?
No, just happened to...
Don't panic. My expectations are not that high after 13 years, mister, but you always love scarves.
Harry smiles, and as they walk out of the store, Rufus looks after them and wipes his brow.
That was close.
He turns and just casually disappears. He's a protecting angel. Exterior Main Street day. Karen and Harry hit the very Christmassy street and pass Jamie, now back from France, of course. He is looking up for an address or sign and finds it. We see him enter a door leading up to a rather tacky outfit. Bedford School of Languages. He pushes back a Father of Christmas as he heads in. Interior film studio, modern flat day. Back at the studio with John and Judy. They are back in the modern flat on a gray leather sofa.
And final position.
And she is on all fours. He is behind her, the DOP casually standing behind the pair of them.
I'm really starting to panic about Christmas now. Do kids still like naughty?
Of course they do. I'm stuck on my 6-year-old nephew. What do you think about a rocking horse?
Wonder what made you think of that?
He laughs. So does she. He laughs even more. It's turning into giggles. The director whispers something to Tony.
Come on, guys. Keep it together. Concentrate. We're running out of time.
Sorry.
They begin to mime again with commitment.
Look, Judy, would you possibly consider...
What?
Okay, that's it. Coats on the stand-ins. I'm ready for the actors.
What were you...
Oh, nothing.
Interior Language School, Main Street day. Cut to a huge neon-lit room. It's full of people at Formica desks listening to the tapes with big earphones. We overhear some of the tapes, all spoken in very pandemic English. As we pan across, 5 people learning English from every corner of the world. The 6th person is Jamie, conscientiously taking notes, and it's not English she's learning, it's Portuguese.
Do you have this menu in English? Oh dear, I have a stomach ache. I think it was prawns.
Interior Mark's flat day. Mark is at home. He is watching the telly. The doorbell goes. He heads downstairs, opens the door. It's Juliet, clearly just having been to Starbucks.
Banoffee pie?
No. Thanks.
Thank God. I buy 1 slice every Saturday. Just 1, never 2. Would have broken my heart if you said yes.
Oh, right. Well, lucky you.
Can I come in?
Uh, yeah, I'm actually a bit busy, but
They head upstairs. He switches off the telly, Saturday morning kids TV.
I was just passing and I thought we might be able to check that video thing. I thought we might be able to swap it for the pie or wine gums.
actually, I was being serious. I don't know where it is. I'll have a poke around tonight and then maybe.
Mark, can I say something?
Yes.
I know Peter's your best friend, and I know you've never particularly warmed to me. Don't argue. We've never been friendly, but I just want to say I hope that can change. I'm nice. I really am, apart from my terrible taste in shoes. And I think it'd be good if we could be friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great.
She's a little hurt how little he's given back, but just sums up how little he likes her. So she heads in again.
Doesn't mean we'll be able to find the video, though. I had a real search when you first called and couldn't find any trace of it, so
There's one here says Juliet and Peter's wedding. You think we might be on the right trail?
ah, yes. Well, wow. That could be it.
Well, just finish this. Yum. Then do you mind if I just...
As I say, though, I've probably taped over it. Almost everything is episodes of West Wing on it now. Why don't I just...
Cut to the tape going into the video. She sits, he stands. It starts with a shot of her coming down the aisle.
Oh, bingo. That's lovely. Well done, you. Hooray.
And a shot of her during the priestly stuff.
That's gorgeous, Mark. This is just what I was hoping for. Thank you so much.
He pulls a resigned, well, I'm glad I could help face. Back to the tape, outside the church, close-ups of her.
You've stayed rather close, haven't you?
She looks around. Mark now has his hands over his nose. You can just see his eyes. He's looking at her. The music of our film starts to take over from the natural sound. Cut to husband Peter's speech, but the camera instantly moves to Juliet's divine laughing, blushing face all the time. There's no one else in the video. Then cut to Juliet during that first dance we glimpsed. Just her face. Peter's nose just coming in and out of frame momentarily once in a while. Then at the end of the day, Juliet dressed in a going-away clothes, waving goodbye. The movie music has grown during this. The tape comes to an end, turns to a flicker. She looks at him. He looks at her.
They're all shots of me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Pause.
But you never talk to me. You always talk to Peter. You don't like me.
Pause. Nothing impatient here. He just can't go there.
Well, hope it's useful. Don't show it around too much. Look, I've got to get to a lunch, early lunch. You can just show yourself out, can't you? It's a self-preservation thing, you see.
Exterior Mark's flat street day. Cut outside to the house. Mark walks away. Sad music plays. After 7 steps, he hesitates and slowly turns. Takes 2 steps back to the house, then turns again and heads away. He passes a pretty sad Sam walking along the street. The camera stays with Sam. He stops outside a music store, a video playing. The video of Billy's pop song in which he is singing, and girl fans are swaying, dressed as Santa's sexy helpers, holding up lighters and screaming admiringly. A thought goes through Sam's mind. He turns and runs. Interior Daniel's house, Daniel's office, day. Daniel is there. Sam bursts in wearing a school uniform.
I've got a plan.
Thank the Lord.
Girls love musicians, don't they? Even the really weird-looking ones get girlfriends.
That's right. Lionel Richie's never spent a night alone.
Whatever. There's this big concert at the end of term, and she's in it. And I thought maybe if I was in the band and played absolutely superbly, then there's a chance that she might actually fall in love with me. What do you think?
I think it's brilliant. I think it's stellar. Apart from the one obvious tiny little, baby little hiccup.
That I don't play a musical instrument.
Yep.
A tiny, insignificant detail. Watch this space, Mr. No Imagination.
Daniel looks a bit worried. Interior Daniel's house, corridor, evening. Loud noise of drumming. Daniel, all pajamaed up, very late at night, walks past Sam's room, from inside which comes the sound of a totally obsessive, repetitive drumming. The drumming continues and forms the basis of music over a short montage that sees us getting closer and closer to Christmas. Exterior, various London streets, London sights, night. Christmas trees being put up left and right and center. In windows outside stores, up in the window of 10 Downing Street, in Trafalgar Square. Interior, fair trade office, night. Sarah putting up a little tree on her office desk. The camera moves slightly deliberately over the big, sad African picture behind her. Interior, arrivals gate, airport, Wisconsin, day. The final Christmas tree is being put up in the airport. Madison, Wisconsin. Much flurry, and then there's Colin.
And it's Christmas week on KWNS, Wisconsin. And here, one of the old folk apparently bulleting up the charts is the old UK. Isn't that quaint? It's good old Billy Mann from Heroine to Hero.
Exterior, interior cab, Madison Airport, Madison Streets, day. Colin gets into a cab.
Take me to the bar.
What kind of bar, hey?
Just any bar, just your average American bar.
So nothing too classy.
No. Any old bar anywhere.
You from England?
Yes, but don't get fresh.
As he drives, he passes house after house with gorgeously tacky Christmas neon, Santa's on the lawn, Rudolph on the roof, season's greetings everywhere. Finally, though, they pull up outside a really ordinary daggy bar.
Excellent.
Interior bar, Wisconsin, day. He heads in. There's not much going on. He goes to the bar.
How can I help you?
Yes, I'd like a Budweiser, thank you.
Great. One bud coming up.
Voice from off.
You from England?
He turns and sees an exquisite girl. Just imagine your favorite beautiful female American stars.
Yes, I am from Basildon.
Cute. Jeannie!
Out of the shadows comes her best friend. It's another startlingly famous actress.
Yay! Hey!
This is
Colin Frizzell.
This is Colin.
Cute name. I'm Jenny.
He's from England.
Yup.
Wait till Carrie Annie gets here. She's crazy about England guys.
The door opens. Enter a third legend.
Hey, Carrie Annie, this is Colin. He's from England.
Make way, girls. This is my round. Hello, gorgeous.
Colin has an insanely huge grin on his face. Someone puts a cheerful Christmassy song on the jukebox. It bubbles up through the next scenes, apparently with the same drum beat that Sam has been practicing. Interior Daniel's house, corridor, evening. Daniel stops at the door of Sam's room. Still drumming, he winces. Interior Karen's house, night. Karen is coming in, whipping off Harry's coat.
You muted, Sadie.
Explain to me again why you're so late.
Oh, for heaven's sake, woman. Can a man have any secrets?
Well, hurry up. We've been waiting for hours. It's the first ever preview.
She picks up his coat and goes to hang it. In the pocket, she feels something and takes it out. It's a small, flat box. She opens it. It has a delicate heart necklace in it. She smiles and puts it back, then heads into the living room, where now a total bodysuit, lobster, and a very hip angel wait.
Right. It was the stormy night in ancient Jerusalem when a large pink lobster approached an inn.
Interior underground train, day. An underground train, pan-along group of hip people. They're all wearing Walkmans or iTunes. They mumble little bits of a tune. They bob their heads and wear their hoods and sweatshirts, and the fourth person in line is Jamie, much more traditionally dressed. He too is listening to headphones, but while the others are singing and dancing, he is talking, trying to act convincingly, even if not sounding very Portuguese.
Boa noche. Boa noche. Boa noche.
He's also got a lot of Christmas present bags in front of him. This is clearly someone who takes Christmas seriously. Interior, 10 Downing Street, staircase, corridor, drawing room, night. The end of a long day. The PM is looking tired as he wanders through Downing Street, all Christmas decked up for nobody. A single man in a big house. He heads upstairs and along the corridor. He finally settles down in front of the TV, parked in a couch on the corner of a too-big room. Papers in front of him, he turns the telly on. It's Billy Mann on Parkinson. Interior Parkinson studio, night.
Well, this must be a very exciting moment for you, fighting for the Christmas #1. How's it looking so far?
Where's Paul?
I'm here. I'm just lost, I'm afraid.
Page 92, bottom quarter.
My goodness. Very bad indeed. Westlife are outselling me 5-1. But I'm hoping for a last-minute surge. And in fact, if I do reach the top, I promise that I'll sing the song Stark Naked on TV on Christmas Eve.
Do you mean that?
Of course I mean it, Michael. Want to preview, you old flirt?
He goes to unbutton his trousers. Parky laughs. The PM laughs too. Interior film studio, bathroom, day. John and Judy in a smart bathroom. She is miming a blowjob. Lighting man still close, fitting a tiny new light.
Excellent. Excellent. Perfect. Hold it there.
Look, sorry to be a bit forward, but you wouldn't fancy a Christmas tree, wouldn't you? I mean, nothing, nothing applied. Maybe see something Christmassy or something. I mean, you obviously don't have to do it if you don't.
No, that'd be lovely.
Oh, great.
And cut to the next position. She sits on his face.
That is really great. Normally, I'm a bit shy about this sort of thing. Take me age to get the courage up. So thank you. That'll be great.
Well, no, thanks for asking. I'm pretty shy too. If a bloke doesn't make the first move, no move will ever be made.
I know what you mean.
And if you could just lean back for the orgasm now, please, Judy.
Interior bar, Wisconsin night. Cut back to America and Colin's bar. It's now late at night. A Christmas song plays in the jukebox.
Well, it's pretty late. I suppose I better be going.
Same. Where are you staying?
Don't actually know. Guess I'll just check into a motel like they do in movies.
One of you, just say it.
Sorry. This is so cute.
Look, I know this is a bit pushy and we've only just met, but why don't you come back and sleep at our place?
Well, I mean, if it's not too much of a inconvenience.
Oh no, it'd be a pleasure. The only problem is,
What?
well,
The problem is we're not exactly the richest of girls, so there's only one little double bed and no couch. So you kind of have to share with the three of us.
and on this hot, hot night, it might be kind of crowded and sweaty and stuff.
No, I think it'd be fine.
And,
And what?
well, the thing that makes it even more of a squish is you haven't even met Harriet yet.
There's a fourth one?
Yeah, you'll like her. She's the pretty one.
Really? Wow. Praise the Lord.
Interior drawing room, 10 Downing Street night. The PM's pottering around a big room in a dressing gown now, still leafing through his big work pile. He comes across a bunch of Christmas cards with a note from his secretary on a post-it note. Read these, a random sample. He considers it, then puts them aside and works on. Interior Karen's house, living room, night. Another tree. It's Karen, in a dressing gown and putting an extra gift under the tree. Late at night, she comes across a square package, gift wrapped in gold. She smiles. It twinkles like the Holy Grail. There's a card. She opens it. Her husband's handwriting. Sorry I'm such a grumpy bugger. Merry Christmas, darling. XOXO, bad Harry. The package is exactly the same size as the necklace case. Indeed, she puts it up to her throat and smiles. Interior Jamie's parents' house, night. A door opens.
Look, everyone, it's Uncle Jamie.
Jamie is totally covered in presents. He's bought hundreds. Instantly, family members of all ages surround him. Huge excitement. He dumps all the presents and gets hugged.
Yes, splendid. Love to see you. Lovely to see you all. And I'm off, actually.
Jamie?
Sorry, a man's got to do.
He turns tail and leaves. Interior hospital night. Sarah in the ward with her brother again.
Do you remember Dad and the Christmas pudding?
No.
Every year, Mom served it up, said it was a great English tradition. Every year, he never took a single bite.
He just looks at her. Nothing. Then.
We used to clear the table for the only time during the whole year because the Christmas top of the Pops was on and you could watch it in the kitchen.
That's right. Couldn't wash up enough. Washing up my absolute favorite activity for one meal of the year.
He just looks at her stonily and then a tiny smile.
I've just realized Mom was a terrible cook, wasn't she?
Yes. She was. Egg in a cup.
He thinks, looks at her, another tiny smile.
How are you, Blondie?
Great. Everything's great.
He nods.
I'm in hell.
I know you are. I know you are, babe.
She takes his hand. Interior, Mark's flat night. Late 2, Mark watches the end of the movie of White Christmas on the television. All the leads dressed in red and white, singing White Christmas, with the real snow falling behind them. Rosemary Clooney opens her present, the big Christmas tree, as Bing Crosby looks on, smiling at his Christmas hat. He switches it off.
Okay. Tape recorder.
Exterior, Jamie's flat night. Cut to Jamie with a small bag and coat on, leaving his flat and heading out into the road to catch a taxi.
Heathrow Airport, please.
Exterior flat in Wisconsin. A single hokey American flat, sexy music, and women is silhouetted in the window, clearly taking off a tiny t-shirt. Then 2 more girls enter the shadow, also stripping down. Back at street level, a girl walks up to the front door and lets herself in. She has a shoulder-length curly hair and gorgeous legs below her micro skirt. She shouts up in a voice that is almost familiar.
Hi, girls. I'm home.
Interior, Daniel's house, living room, night. Sam and Daniel watching the great big end of Officer and a Gentleman. He sweeps her up and carries her through the factory to the sound of Up Where We Belong. Alan, you're muted.
That's very much the kind of thing you should do. Has she noticed you yet?
No. You know the score in romances. People only get together right at the very end.
Of course.
By the way, I feel bad I never asked you how your love life's going.
Ha! No, as you know, that was a done deal long ago, unless Nicole Kidman calls, of course. In which case I might want you out of this house straight away, you little motherless mongrel.
Exterior, London skyline, eve. The next day, 6:50 p.m., the camera moves across London. A Radio 1 DJ is broadcasting to the nation.
And it's rainy Christmas Eve in London town. And the big question is, who is number one? Is it going to be Westlife? Or will it be the total unexpected Christmas sensation from Billy Mann? Well, there's only 2 records to go out on our chart, and this is the first of them. Number 2 at Christmas this year. It's Westlife.
Interior record company boardroom eve. The room, once empty, is totally packed with record people, all going berserk. Yes, 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 Joe stands near Billy.
We are the champions.
I am the champion.
You are the champion.
A phone goes. The room goes silent. Billy answers.
Billy.
Hello.
We're live across the nation and you're number 1. How do you feel?
Well, as you know, I am an enormous fan of Westlife, and the thought of those young chaps not getting to #1, well, it's a real heartbreaker.
And your real reaction, Bill?
Fuck 'em. I'm the king.
Joe leaps in the
He's
air
the king.
and then backs away in embarrassment.
And how will you be celebrated?
I don't know. Either I could behave like a rock and roll loser and get drunk with my fat manager, or when I hang up, I'll get flooded by invitations to a large number of glamorous parties.
Let's hope it's the latter. And here it is, #1 from Billy Mann. It's Christmas is all around.
Oh, Jesus. Not that crap again. How do you think I did?
You're the king of kings. Not Jesus, you.
Gina steps forward, holding her mobile.
Bill, it's for you.
Billy takes the phone.
Elton. Of course. Of course. Of course. Send a very big car and I'll be there.
He hangs up.
It's going to be a very good Christmas.
Joe, a bit lost and now in the crowd of new friends, grins from ear to ear. Interior arrivals gate, French airport. Cut to Jamie coming through French airport, looking determined, not carrying any luggage. He actually breaks into a run for no reason. Interior, the drawing room, 10 Downing Street, evening. Back to the PM. It's just after 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. Still so alone. He spots the Christmas cards again. It's raining and dull, and he picks them up casually. First, a couple of boring ones. He turns one over to read the signature, which still doesn't make sense upside down. The third one jolts him. It's from Natalie. He reads it. It says this.
Dear Sir, dear David, Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a Happy New Year. I'm very sorry about that thing that happened. It was a very odd moment, and I apologize, and I feel like a fool. Particularly because you can't say it at Christmas. When can you, eh? I'm actually ever yours. With love. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Your Natalie.
He pauses, puts it down, rereads it. Then, as music starts to play, he makes up his mind. He leaves the drawing room. Interior, Downing Street, staircase, corridor, inner lobby, entrance hall, night. He runs right through the corridor, down the staircase, through the empty inner lobby, and out towards the front door. And there's a security person there.
I need a car.
Exterior, 10 Downing Street, night. Cut on. He gets into the car outside Downing Street, a dark, wet night.
Take me to Wandsworth, Harris Street.
Exterior, the Thames, night. His big car shoots across the Battersea Bridge. A police car follows it. The camera sweeps up and over onto the next bridge, and there, crossing it, is a huge, white Elton John limousine with Billy inside it, drinking champagne. Then it sweeps to the next bridge, and there's rushing past is Mark, the best man, in his car. Interior, Karen's house, night. Cut on, Christmas is really in swing now. It's present opening time at Karen's. She twinkles in Harry's direction.
Have just one present for each tonight. Who's got one for Daddy?
Why don't you take one for yourself?
Maybe I will. Perhaps I'll take this.
It's Harry's present. She smiles and starts to unwrap it.
I'm afraid there's only one this year. I haven't exactly had a lot of time to go out shopping.
No, but what you had, I'm sure you used well.
She opens it slowly. It is a CD of Joni Mitchell.
Right. Right. Well, that's a surprise. Wow.
I thought it might be right up your street.
Yes, goodness. It's great.
My passionate wife.
Yes, if you don't mind, I think I'll go absent myself for a second. All that ice cream. Darling, could you just make sure that the kids are ready to go?
She moves slowly out of the room with a slightly glazed smile. A slightly mysterious musical sound starts. Interior, exterior, PM's car, Wandsworth Street, night. The PM and his cars arrive in Wandsworth and turn into quite a short street.
What number, sir?
Oh, there's a good question. I've got absolutely no bloody idea. Damn. Oh, hell.
Exterior, Harris Street, night. Hard cut, he stands at the door of number 1 Harris Street and knocks. He has with him a bodyguard who is 5 yards away, discreet. An old lady comes out.
Hello. Does Natalie live here?
No.
Right. Fine. Thank you. Sorry to disturb.
Aren't you the Prime Minister?
Well, yes, in fact, I am. Merry Christmas. Part of the service now. I'm hoping to get around to everyone by New Year's Eve.
Oh, lovely.
Cut to him ringing the next door, and the 2 cars always cruising along following him. A 6-year-old girl answers.
Hello.
Kay, where are you?
I'm here, sorry, I'm lost again.
Wandsworth child. Hello, are you singing carols?
No, I'm not.
Oh, we haven't had a single carol singer this year. Mom said there'd be carol singers all the time. The other 2 sad little kids edge up next to their brother and look out disappointed.
Well, I mean, I suppose I could. Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen.
Cut, the PM knocks on another door. It opens. There's Mel, and on her neck, the necklace.
Sorry to disturb. Does Natalie live here?
I'm sorry, no. She's next door.
Oh, brilliant.
You're not who I think you are you?
Yes, afraid so. Sorry about all the cock-ups. The health service is an absolute bugger, but I hope to do better next year.
PM straightens his tie and his hair, and he has done for her before. Then, in slow motion, his finger slowly moves to the ring on the bell. Finally, he reaches it and rings it. Interior, Natalie's house, night. The door opens, and a whole explosive family is crowded into the thin corridor, all in their winter coats, obviously just seconds before all going out. It couldn't be more awkward. They're all there, 7 people, and not Natalie.
Hello? Is Natalie around?
Natalie hasn't seen him and is coming up from the next room.
What the fuck is my fucking coat? Oh, hello.
Hello?
Big awkwardness, and he's looking a bit like a drowned rat.
This is my mom and dad and my Uncle Tony and Auntie Glynn.
Pleased to meet you.
And this is the Prime Minister.
Yes, we can see that, darling.
Some children scuttle around.
And unfortunately, we're very late.
It's the school nativity concert. You see, David, and it's the first time all the local schools have joined together. Even Street Basil, which is most.
Too much detail, Mom.
Anyway, how can we help, sir?
Well, actually, I needed Natalie about some state business.
Right. Yes, of course. He looks at his watch. Right. Well, perhaps you should come later, Plumpy. Natalie.
No, look, I don't want you to miss out the concert.
No, it's nothing really.
Keith, be very disappointed.
Really, no, it doesn't matter.
The octopus costume has taken me months. 8 is a lot of legs.
Look, why don't I drive you? We can talk in the car.
She gives him a very happy look.
Okay.
Interior bedroom, Karen's house, night. Cut to Karen in her bedroom. She's just standing there, rigid, listening to Joni, playing loud on the CD.
Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way that you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go. And if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away.
A tear falls from her eye, which she wipes away. Her hands play with her hair.
I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, but still somehow his love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love. I really don't know love at all.
She tries to smile, and as the song continues, heads back to rejoin the family, with smiles and kisses and laughter and a breaking heart. Oh, sweetheart, you're muted.
Come on, darlings. We better go or we'll be horribly late.
Interior, exterior, PM's car, Wandsworth night. Cut into the PM's car. There are PM and Natalie sitting with the bodyguard and one brother. We see the police car is totally full of family behind them. Back in the PM's car. Pause.
Thanks for your Christmas card.
You're welcome. I just thought I'm so sorry about that day. I mean, I came into the room and he slinked towards me and there was a fire and I was just standing there and he's the president of the United States and nothing happened, I promise. And I just felt such a fool because you're the man I really want to be with.
We're here! This is a key moment. Which way will they jump?
Look, I'd better go. The last thing anybody needs is some boring politician stealing the kids' thunder.
You have to?
Yes, although I'll be very sorry to drive away from you.
Just give me 1 second.
Exterior school car park night. She jumps out of the car. Meantime, the school car park is full of action. Daniel and Sam are arriving. Sam carrying drumsticks, very determined looking. Daniel to make his hair look a little more fashionable. Then cut to Judy and John, meeting John's family. There's a little nephew there.
John's been very mysterious. Where did you two meet?
Natalie comes back to the car.
Come on in. We can watch from backstage.
A little pause.
Okay, Terry, I'll be back in an hour.
As they step out, as ever with the bodyguard, he pauses in a moment of clarity.
It is pretty important that we don't get seen. This has to be a very private visit.
Don't worry. This was my school. I know my way around.
Exterior Marseille night. Jamie arrives in his car in a very thin, poor city street in Marseille. He gets out of his car, heads down, and rings the doorbell. A man answers. Huge black mustache, about 60, big belly, just wearing a vest. Jamie speaks in fluent Portuguese.
Boa tarde, Mr. Barros. I'm here to ask your daughter for her hand in marriage. I hope that you give me your permission.
Nobody. You wish to marry my daughter?
I do.
Mr. Barros calls back. Come here, quickly! There is a man at the door. Through the plastic curtain leading into the next room comes a very big Portuguese girl. There's no love lost between father and daughter. He wants to marry you.
But I've never met him before.
Doesn't matter. The soonest I get you out of the house, the better.
You're gonna sell me to a stranger.
Who mentioned sell? I'll pay him.
Excuse me, I'm meeting your other daughter, Aurelia.
Oh, I'm sorry. My mistake.
I get it. This must be the Englishman she has been talking about, so my ears bleed with boredom.
She's not here. She's at work. I'll take you. You stay here.
Don't be stupid.
Interior corridor, backstage, school, night. Back at school, Karen and kids and Harry are late. She's having trouble moving her brood down the corridor.
Go get the seats. Come on, everybody, quick, quick.
The PM and Natalie and the bodyguard also going down a little corridor in a sort of backstage area, and then the two parties bump into each other.
David?
She hugs him and stays hugging him a bit longer than you'd expect. Suddenly, the emotion comes out. He's surprised by her intensity.
Hey.
What the hell are you doing here?
Right, well...
I always tell your secretary that these things are going, but it never occurred to me that you'd actually show.
Well, look, it's a long story I didn't want everyone to see, so I'm just gonna hide myself in the back somewhere and watch. Good luck, Daisy. Good luck, Bernie. Heard about your essay. Very amusing.
Thank you, sir.
I've got to tell you, I've never been gladder to see my stupid big brother. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And now, really, Natalie and the bodyguard can't go on standing there any longer.
This is Gavin, and this is Natalie. She's my catering manager.
Well, watch out, he keeps his hands off you. 20 years ago, you would have been just as right.
They all laugh.
I'll be very careful. Don't try something, sir, just because it's Christmas.
More uneasy laughter. A bell goes. The show's starting.
Christ, showtime. See you after.
Well, maybe.
She gives him a final hug and whispers.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
And PM and Natalie head off and enter a sort of backstage area full of ropes and pulleys. Exterior Marseille night. Jamie and father and sister are moving through the streets.
You better not say yes, father.
Shut up, Miss Lardcake 2003. They pass another family sitting out.
Father is about to sell Aurelia as a white slave to this Englishman.
The other families follow. They don't want to miss this. Exterior London Street, night. Cut to Mark, now cruising slowly and parking his car and getting out after a moment of hesitation. Interior School Hall, night. Cut into the concert. It's the climax of the nativity scene. The cast are pointing at the star above Jesus and singing Catch a Falling Star. A little sign says, Form 2B.
Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. Never let it fade away. Never let it fade away.
There's Jesus surrounded by Mary and Joseph and 3 angels, 2 of them dressed normally, and a bad Bernard dressed like a streetwise rapper, but with a halo. Widened to take in the cast of cows, sheep, and lots of sea creatures, lobsters, squid, penguins, an octopus, and a blue whale, etc. Interior backstage, school hall, night. We go back to PM and Natalie standing there nervously backstage, glimpsing through a little crack. Interior school hall, night. The song ends to great applause. Karen comes on to speak. Mr. Trench stands beside her.
Thank you very much. Before we finish, I'd just like to say to our headmistress, Miss Monroe, on behalf of all parents, that we think it's very brave of her being here today in light of her recent loss. Geraldine was a wonderful and wicked woman. Sorrow is particularly hard at Christmas.
We cut to the headmistress. She's wearing dark glasses. She just nods politely. We also see Harry, sorrow causer.
So finally, the climax of the evening, Mr. Trench.
Yes. St. Joseph's top 3 classes will now perform their chosen Christmas number. The lead vocal is by Joanna Anderson.
Daniel raises an eyebrow. This is her. Mr. Trench.
Sorry. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. Backing vocals coordinated by her mother, this great Mrs. Jean Anderson. Some of the staff have decided to help, and we ask you forgive us of our sins. Thank you.
The song begins. In darkness, the tinkling of innocent Christmas bells, and then into the spotlight steps the lead singer. She is a fabulous 12-year-old black girl, a female Michael Jackson, a slow, magnificent start. Whitney meets Mariah.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree.
Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going. Just sing the song.
Okay. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you.
And then it clicks into All I Want for Christmas Is You, originally sung by Mary Carey. It is stunning. She is stunning. On piano is Bad Bernie, grinning and now wearing a t-shirt saying Hell's Angel. Sam's monotonous drums suddenly make fantastic Phil Spector sense, but then he explodes into some very experimental riffs. He's damn good. At one moment, Daniel looks towards him and sends back a distinctive, she's the one finger. Sam nods with a smile. The head of the backing vocals is a mighty woman, clearly Joanna's mum, supported by self-conscious staff members letting their hair down for the first time this century. Behind them, a choir of kids. It is an exuberant, fabulous end to the show. Some parents start to stand, led on by Joanna's dad, though Daniel and then Harry are hot on his heels. Eventually, everyone is standing. John and Judy are having a particularly funky time, both dancing quite badly. And the PM, quite close to the same stage now, peers through the wings, amazed at this phenomenal girl. Although, when someone approaches, he tries to hide and fades into the background, still working hard not to be seen. He backs up into Natalie, and in the darkness, their lips come together.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I don't need to hang my stocking there upon the fireplace. Santa Claus won't make me happy with the toy on Christmas Day. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my dreams come true. All I want for Christmas is you, baby.
Finally, Joanna points to all I want for Christmas is you. And one point, she points and stares straight at Sam. It's the moment we've been waiting for, but then she moves on. Sam's head drops. His dreams defeated. Hysteria just before the end. The audience explodes into applause. As the final repeated strains of All I Want for Christmas is sung, we pan along to the kids' gleeful Bad Bernard, who looks around and sure enough, he sees Mr. Trench, his RE teacher, also bowing and emitting a bright blue visible fart. Bernie smiles the hugest smile of all. Finally, fake snow starts to flutter down and the children's stage backdrop goes up to reveal a little surprise, a full painted winter wonderland, saying, Merry Christmas, clearly done all by the children. A slightly bigger surprise is that standing there in the middle of the stage, thinking they are backstage and totally private, are the Prime Minister and Natalie, kissing. Instantly, out come the cameras. Every single parent in the school is a thunder and lightning of flashes. There is nothing the PM and Natalie can do.
Right. So, not quite as private as we'd hoped. What do we do?
They stare at each other. He turns around and takes a nervous little bow. I know we're over time. If you guys have to go, I understand. But if you would like to stay and finish, we've got like 15 more pages. Okay? We'll go as fast as we can. I want to respect your time. If you do have to go, go. Just make me a little note so I know who I have to cover. Exterior, Marseille, night. Quite a large group of people now walking through the back streets, about 22 of them. They've been collecting at Sister Sophia's instigation. They turn out to the harbor and then move along to a restaurant facing the water and burst into it. Interior restaurant, Marseille, night. There is a proprietor behind the bar. Oh, that's me again. Where's Aurelia? This man has to come back to ask her to marry him.
He can't do that. She's our best waitress.
Don't be so selfish. Where is she?
Why should I care? If she's not going to continue working here, the little tart.
In that moment, Aurelia backs through the door holding 3 plates of food. She turns and sees Jamie standing there. She freezes and then very gently puts the food down and wipes the hair on her face back. She's probably wearing makeup for the first time.
Buenas noches, Aurelia.
Boa noite, Jamie.
Get a move on, mister.
Beautiful Aurelia. I've come here with the view to asking you to marry me.
Cut to her.
I know I seem an insane person because I hardly know you, but sometimes things are so transparency. They don't need evidential proof. I'd be very honored if you would make marriage with me, and I will have it here, or you can come and have it with me in England.
Definitely go for England, girl. You might meet Prince William, then you can marry him instead.
Of course, I don't expect you to be as foolish as me, and course, prediction you say no, but it's Christmas, and I just wanted to check.
Oh, for heaven's sake, say yes, you skinny moron.
Cut back to Aurelia and back to Jamie. Then, because she too has learned the language of the person she loves, in very broken English.
Thank you. That will be nice. Yes is being my answer. Easy question.
What did you say?
Sin claro.
Everyone cheers.
You learned English?
Just in cases.
And the band strikes up, and the entire Portuguese community hugs him, including the sister, with a huge kiss on the lips. And Aurelia and Jamie move close together and twirl in glorious and glamorous slow motion as they dance into the future. Interior school corridor night. Afterwards, in the school corridor, the atmosphere is explosive and excited. The full Christmas Monty. Sam comes up to Daniel, not happy.
Hey, great show. Classic drumming.
Yeah, thanks. Plan didn't work though.
Tell her then.
Tell her what?
Tell her that you love her.
No way. Anyway, they fly tonight.
Even better. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll always regret it if you don't. I never told your mom enough. I should have told her every day because she was perfect every day. You've seen the films, kiddo. It ain't over till it's over.
Okay, let's do it, Dad. Let's go get the shit kicked out of us by love. Just give me 1 sec.
He charges off and into an art room just across the corridor. Daniel turns and bumps into someone. She is a mother with boy, and she looks weirdly suspiciously like Nicole Kidman, though obviously it isn't her, though in fact it is. The teeth or hair color or something's very wrong. She's a very independent London mum.
Sorry, I'm Dad, flying cow.
That's okay.
That's okay, my fault.
Oh, there you go.
No, it wasn't. You're Sam's dad, aren't you?
Yes, well, stepdad, Daniel.
I'm Carol. Tommy was second trumpet. Watch out, Louis Armstrong, I say.
I agree. Well done, kiddo. Though I prefer Chet Baker.
Deep pause. The two adults just look at each other.
He's also the gymnast, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't get him the girls, though.
We're a very foolish, shallow ass. Sex.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes, well, I hope we'll meet again, Karen.
Carol. I'll make sure we do.
Yes, good. Merry Christmas.
As they walk away,
Tell her.
What?
Sam gestures towards the woman.
Don't be such an arse.
He looks back at her, just as she looks back at him. It's gonna happen. Harry and Karen are also moving down the corridor with the children.
Was I fantastic?
It's the greatest piano playing I've ever seen. And I once saw Rachmaninoff.
Harry smiles at her. She smiles back. They walk on, her looking forward.
You gave someone else a gold necklace for Christmas. I hope you haven't given her your heart as well.
Karen.
He loses the color in his cheeks, but keeps on walking. Exterior schoolyard night. In the schoolyard.
Here she is.
Joanna gets into a big car, which instantly drives away.
Oh, God.
We can get there. I know a very cunning, if complicated, shortcut.
Exterior London streets night. All of the next scenes are in Daniel's exotic shortcut, so the car whips past a mansion block, and we whip inside. Interior Joe's flat night. There's Joe in his room. He's got a bottle of champagne open, and he's drinking on his own, watching Billy on TV, his foot tapping like the fan he always has been and still is. Exterior London streets night. The car whips past a big white building. Interior hospital night. Sarah and her brother. They sit in the hospital in total silence. Him just looking out. She holds his hand.
Love you, Michael.
Little pause. Is Isaac still here? I know, it doesn't help.
I know.
Gently strokes his hair. Exterior London streets, night. Daniel's car shoots through a suburban street, which actually turns out to contain newlywed Juliet and Peter's house. Interior, exterior, Juliet and Peter's house, night. Inside, Peter and Juliet are sitting watching telly. It's the end of the bodyguard, Kevin and Whitney in the plane. The doorbell rings. Juliet gets up to get it. She leaves the living room and goes through a little corridor and opens the front door. It's Mark.
Oh, hello.
He mimes, shh, she does. He has a bunch of big white cards like a Bob Dylan in his famous video. On them, Mark has written stuff in clumsy felt pen. The first one reads, "Say it's carol singers."
Who is it?
It's carol singers.
Just give them a quid and tell them to bugger off.
Mark bends and pushes a button on a small boogie box at his feet. It starts to play a tape of young, bad carol singers singing Silent Night. He's thought this through. Then he produces the rest of the cards one by one. With any luck, by next year, I'll be going out with one of these girls. A card showing pictures of the 4 most beautiful models in the world. But for now, let me say, without hope or agenda, just because it's Christmas, and at Christmas you tell the truth, to me, you are perfect. And my wasted heart will love you until you look like this. A picture of a very, very old woman, or aged 80, or last photo of Mother Teresa or someone dead. Meanwhile, for you, he hands her a box. Not 1, but 2. She opens it, and it's 2 slices of banoffee pie. He turns over one more card. Merry Christmas. And then the final one. Fatso. He gives her a little thumbs up and turns away, taking the boogie box with Silent Night getting fainter. Suddenly a tap on his shoulder. He turns. Juliet has come down the path and gently kisses him on the lips. He smiles and walks away.
Enough. Enough now.
Exterior Judy's flat, night. Cut to the naked 2 outside the front door, still fully clothed at the end of their first date. Nervous.
I better be getting inside, actually. My mom and...
Yeah, it's a bit cold, isn't it? Look how it's about to rain you tomorrow.
That would be lovely.
Oh, great. It's great. Well, night.
Night. It was a lovely, lovely evening. All I want for Christmas is you.
She points at him, a little laugh, pause, and then she leans forward and gives him an awkward but tender parting kiss. She slips back into the house and closes the door. He turns from the door and then leaps into the air and down the stairs, ecstatic. Result. Joe is opening the door.
What the hell are you doing here? You were meant to be at Elton John's.
Paul? Are you still here?
Yes, I was there for a minute or two. Then
Really?
an epiphany.
Really? Come in. And what was this epiphany?
Well, it was about Christmas.
You realize that it's all around?
No, I realized that Christmas is a time to be with the people you love.
Right.
And I realized, as dire chance and a faithful cock-up would have it, here I am, mid-50s, and without knowing it, I've gone and spent most of my adult life with a chubby employee. And as much as it grieves me to say it, it might be that the people I love is, in fact, you.
Well, this is a surprise.
Yeah.
10 minutes with Elton John and you're gay as a maypole.
No, I'm serious here. Look, I left Elton's place, where there were a hefty number of girls with very few clothes on. in order to hang out with you at Christmas.
Well, Bill, I'm touched.
It's a terrible, terrible mistake, Chubbs. But you turn out to be the fucking love of me life.
Well, how about that, huh?
And to be honest, despite all of me complaining, it has been a wonderful life.
Joe is actually deeply moved.
Well, thank you. Thanks, man. It's been a real honor, and I feel very proud.
He sticks out his hand for a sentimental handshake.
Oh, don't be such a moron.
And gives him a big, huge bear hug.
Come on, let's get pissed and watch porn.
Interior Fair Trade Office night. Daniel's car again. It passes an office block. We cut inside slightly mysterious midnight mood. We drift across the office and come to the black and white African photos behind Sarah's desk and move to it. It slowly turns into a very muted color. Exterior Africa. Day. The man begins to move and then into frame sets a beautiful woman. They speak their native language.
Come on. There's nothing more you can do today.
I feel like I've let you down.
Don't be stupid. As long as I see that big grin on that ugly face of yours from time to time, everything's fine with me.
He grins a big grin.
Well, I have to leave.
If we have to, we have to. Things could be worse. You could have married my sister. We know how slowly she walks.
He laughs, she kisses him, and they walk off. Their son moves into the pictures and holds his father's hand. Interior departures, Heathrow Airport, night. Heathrow Airport. Daniel and Sam are rushing in. They reach the fast-tracked entry point.
I'm afraid I can't let you through without a boarding pass.
No exceptions? Not even to let someone say goodbye to the love of his life?
No.
Another passenger comes past.
Boarding pass, sir.
The man is in great confusion.
Just give me a moment. I know I've got it here. If you just... Could you hold that for a second? There we go. Now, if you could just hang on to this.
The gate man now has a large hand case and cape over his arms. Sam spots his chance. He makes a run for it. He charges through past the gate man who doesn't seem to see him go.
Yes!
I'm sorry. I must have left it when I was having a cup of coffee.
He turns, and for the first time we see his face. It's the angel, Rufus, from before, and he walks past Daniel. He gently disappears. Interior, inside departures, Heathrow Airport, night. Meantime, on the other side, hell is breaking loose. Sam runs through security. Everyone is going crazy after him. He runs, he dodges, he leaps on the conveyor belts, and all to the epic, magnificent continuation of Scott Walker singing Joanna, and the music from the end of The Officer and a Gentleman, and Sleepless in Seattle, and Dirty Dancing, and Love is All Around. It's every end of every romantic film. Then, surrounded by guards, he seems cornered. But not so fast. Remember, gymnastics is Sam's strength. He gorgeously flip-flops his way out of trouble and cartwheels through the airport. Eventually, he sees gate 36. When he gets there, the room is almost completely empty, and Joanna is just going to the plane. But a sturdy security guard and a hostess stand between him and her. He's stumped. Still, suddenly they turn, noticing that up on the television screen, Billy is starting to take his clothes off as he performs his song. Billy is playing Christmas is All Around, increasingly naked. Sam takes his chance and nips in. There's only him and Joanna in the whole long room. Total silence. Then,
Joanna.
Sam?
I thought you didn't know my name.
Course I do. You're the guy who does the handsprings and the great drumming.
You're the drummer? Unbelievable.
Why are anyone telling us the truth here? It was goddamn unbelievable.
What are you doing here?
Well, Oh, Jesus.
Now all his pursuers have arrived.
I've got to run. Take this. You know what it means. Think Form 2B.
He reaches into his pocket and takes out a handful of silver sparkler, like kids sprinkle on glue. Then he runs away. She watches him springing free.
Come on, Joe.
She looks down at the sparkle in her hand as they head towards the plane. Then gently, this plays.
Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away.
Interior departures night. We cut to Sam being led out past fast track by guards to awaiting Daniel. Then he gets a tap on his shoulder. He turns. It's Joanna. She kisses him on the cheek and then runs back immediately. He grins like a madman. He does the big one gesture at Daniel and rushes to him. Daniel lifts him up in the air and hugs him.
For love may come and tap you on the shoulder, some starless night. And just in case you feel you want to hold her, you'll have a pocket full of starlight.
From Sam's pocket, in slow motion, pours a silver sprinkle, their starlight. The camera moves off them and through the airport. A caption says, months later. Interior arrivals gate, Heathrow Airport, day. It's the arrivals gate, with the normal gaggle of people are waiting. Lots of them, drivers with names on little boards, but a lot of real friends, no one we know. Then the first person comes out of the arrival gate. Someone rushes forward to hug them. Then Billy steps out. He has a gorgeous 6-foot blonde with him. Joe steps out of the crowd and comes and takes his bag and kisses the hand of the blonde. Cut to Daniel and Sam waiting, and Nicole Kidman then appears and hands Daniel a cup of coffee she's just bought. Tony is also waiting. He's tapped on the shoulder. There with their luggage and huge grins are Judy and John.
Hey, what are you doing here?
Oh, just waiting for a friend. What about you guys?
She wiggles an engagement ring on her finger. They couldn't be happier. Harry comes out and looks around. Seems to be no one there. Then from behind someone slips Karen, smiling, dutiful, and there are the kids carrying a sign. Welcome home, Dad, about which Grumpy Bernie looks distinctly grumpy. Next out are Jamie and the radiant Aurelia. Peter and Juliet are there to greet them.
Well, here she is. This is Aurelia. This is Peter and Juliet.
Welcome to our cold and bitter country.
Oh, and Mark, I didn't see you.
For indeed he is there, hanging behind.
You thought I would just tag along.
Jamie's friends are so good looking. He never tells me this. I think maybe now I have made wrong choice, picked wrong Englishman.
She can't speak English properly. She does saying. She doesn't in fact mean that at all.
They laugh. Then it's Joanna, the little girl. Sam breaks through, runs to her. Then realizes he has to hold back and shakes her hand vigorously. Daniel and Nicole are amused. Then we see Tony in the crowd, and he finally sees American Colin and waves. Colin sees him and waves back, gives him a big thumbs up and points backwards, and through the doors comes his new girlfriend. She's Harriet, though she is, in fact, the most beautiful American star.
This is Harriet.
Hello, Harriet.
Hey, really pleased to meet you.
How have you been, you old loser?
Well, you know, bit of this, bit of that. Bit lonely, actually.
Excellent. Look, we couldn't crash at your place for a day or two, could we?
Well, I suppose so, though, you know, it'll have to be on the couch. I've just got the one bed.
Ah, petit problemo.
What?
Well, the thing is, Tony, I know this is really naughty of me, really wicked, sinful, but I also brought my sister. And Harriet gestures backwards, coming through the customs as the fifth staggering and famous American woman. We'll call her Carla.
Well, my half-sister.
Oh, right.
Hello, you must be Tony.
She kisses him full on the lips.
Yes, I am. Tony Clockton. Hi.
I heard you were gorgeous.
Yeah, well, welcome to England. Looking forward to having you stay. No rush to leave. I hope you'll be happy with the sleeping arrangements. So America was
So great.
Then a big stir and the Prime Minister comes through, surrounded by quite subtle security people. After a tiny pause, Natalie rushes through the crowd and hugs him with total love, throwing her legs around his waist, flashes of 50 waiting paparazzi.
God, you will, Lott.
Shut up. If you can carry the weight of the nation's woes, you can damn well carry it on me.
Music starts to build up to a climax. Then the door opens again, and out steps middle-aged woman we haven't seen before, and her older husband steps out and grabs her and swings her around. She laughs. Then a hippie-looking man and his hippie girlfriend charges out of the crowd. Then a mother comes out, and a father and 3 children rush towards her. We're back in the world of normal people, with love, actually, all around. The end.
Yay.
Woo! Only 27 minutes over, you guys. We would normally talk about all of the things, but we will have to do that some other time. You're welcome to chat about it on Instagram or something like that if y'all want to play. I'm happy to do that, but I don't want to keep you guys any longer. And I do have an audition review in 3 minutes. So
Thank you.
That's me.
Thank you very much.
I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you all being here, sticking
I
around.
didn't say the chat.
I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody have a good one.
Bye.